son of a bitch.
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers gotta hug.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Because you are my friend.
Hey guys, welcome back to episode 20 of Super Neighbor Bros show. I am Jason Corpsloyd Gaming, accompanied by my awesome co-host, Chris, the old ass retro gamer.
That's
How's it
me.
going, Chris?
I'm doing okay.
And we have an excellent guest for you today, the Lightsaber Samurai. What's up,
Hey,
man?
what's going on, guys? What's happening?
Yeah,
Happy to be here. Happy to be here.
we're happy you are here.
Yeah. I'm on pretty much the only spot in Ontario, Canada that's not on fire right now. So that's cool. So
Really?
we're lucking out. It smells
Really?
like, no matter where you are, it smells like camping.
Oof.
But yeah, it's besides that, it's been pretty awesome around here. Getting up the lakes and actually feel like I went on almost a vacation for a few days before I got called into work. But yeah, I'm actually got to enjoy a little bit of my summer this year, so that's good because we're at the end of July already, and it seems like summer just started yesterday.
Yeah,
I know. Yeah, this summer went by incredibly quick.
I can't believe it's going to be August already.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me. I mean, I'm happy because stuff I was waiting for is now out, and it seemed like it came a lot sooner than I was like, oh, really? Like, Chris told me, like, yeah, Transformers is out now. You can watch it. I'm like, already? It was a week away, like yesterday, I swear. So in that way, it's good, but in just about every other way, it kind of sucks.
Right.
Especially living in Canada, I know our 8 months of winter is right around the corner again. It pretty much seems like 8 months anyway.
Snowpocalypse.
Every year. I live in the wrong part of the world for someone who doesn't even like any type of outdoors thing for winter. Don't like hockey.
Man.
I don't own a snowmobile. I don't mind snowmobiling, but not enough that I want to own one. So it's like, yeah, there's no plus side for winter here. But yeah, so we've been a little busy. Last week we were gonna do this, didn't work out for undisclosed reasons. but yeah, I'm glad we could finally make this happen. I had to actually cancel on these guys like almost last minute last week, so I apologize. I'm happy we can do this now. So Lightsaber Samurai, why don't you introduce yourself and let everyone know what you do?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know me, the name is Lightsaber Samurai. I'm another retro video game channel. And that's pretty much it. Mostly I do a lot of stuff with hidden gems. That's kind of what got me like my initial traction. I was kind of doing the, going the Metal Jesus route and talking about a bunch of different hidden gems. Talk about a lot of kind of oddball systems and like subsystems too. I'm a huge fan of the PlayStation Move. So I actually got a video on that coming up shortly. In addition to that, I'm also a huge fan of like film and photography. And so actually that's been part of the reason for my hiatus. I've been setting up a separate YouTube studio for a new film and photography channel so I can move all that content there and then just focus on just the, the retro game stuff for Lightsaber Samurai. So that's what I've been into. But yeah, so yeah, if you guys see me around YouTube, definitely check me out. I appreciate having everybody on and watching. So yeah, that's about me in the nutshell.
Perfect. Yeah. Admittedly, I'm pretty new to your channel. I just been checking it out the last few weeks. I never heard of it before. So yeah, I've got quite a few videos to catch up on, but it's I've been liking what I've seen so far. So cool.
Man, I appreciate that.
Yeah, Peter from Waves and Games pointed me out to you when I was looking for people for my last big collaboration video.
Right.
And yeah, Lightsaber Samurai was in the final Movies That Would Make Great Video Games collab that I did.
Yeah, it's probably around the time I checked it out. I thought I had subscribed at the time, but then I've been watching the videos and I'm like, I'm not even subscribed. I should be a little bit more supportive instead of such a lurker in the shadows.
Don't be such a toad. Don't be such a toad.
Yeah, and right on. Yeah, shout out to Peter. That's my guy right there.
He is Mr. YouTuber community right there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, and yeah, it's me and him. He's actually gonna be here in Wichita where I'm at, so we definitely got to link up and make some content. He's supposed to be here next week, actually, so I need to reach out to him again and see what free time he has. Because actually, next week I'm pretty much off for most of next week. Is my last free week before school starts again. I teach 6th grade. So cool. We'll be back at it after next Monday. So
like you and Captain Algebra, man.
You're the second teacher we've had on here then.
Yeah, Captain Algebra teaches was it 8th grade algebra?
Yeah.
Cool.
What if you taught English and you just a poser?
He taught like he's like a band teacher or something.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Yeah, I'm a gym teacher.
We know he's good at maths.
Yeah.
So that's good.
Maths.
Quick maths. So welcome to the show, and why don't we start off with a PSVR highlight? Want to do that?
Sure.
I want
to get out of the way before I forget about it. I always seem to kind of forget about the highlights.
It kind of sneaks up on us.
Yeah. So this time I'm going with Theseus. It's a game I had to import, Perp Games. I bought it on Amazon, and you follow the Greek dude Theseus through his legends, and it's pretty cool. I haven't played a lot of it, but it seems to control pretty well, and it's a lot of like bow and arrow stuff. So it kind of reminds me of a few of the other PSVR games, like Apex Construct, especially, I'd say. But definitely check it out. I don't want to say because I haven't checked since COVID hit, but I got this really cheap. I think it was like $12 US. So yeah, give that a shot if you're into the VR.
And that was.
Do you dabble?
I was gonna say, you said, huh?
Sorry, I was gonna say, do you dabble with the VR at all?
Oh yeah, I love the PlayStation VR. Actually, I got a game too. He mentioned that you were gonna show a VR game, and this is one I haven't played this yet, but I thought this one was interesting to talk about because everybody talks about Psychonauts, but I don't think a lot of people know that this game exists. And this Psychonauts VR game, Psychonauts: The Rhombus of Ruin, is what it's called, and it's cool that it includes the classic Psychonauts on here too, which is nice. I haven't played this one myself, but it's interesting. I definitely want to hop in. This is a recent pickup of mine, and so hopefully something to tie me over while we wait for that Psychonauts sequel.
I keep on meaning to play the first game and then go into that one to prepare myself for the second one, but I keep on like everything. I always end up putting it off, and it just never happens.
I've been neglecting the VR. I've been bringing my PS4 to work a lot. I just got attacked by Iron Man. At least he's got money to pay up on the assault charge. I bought that pretty close to getting my VR too, and I haven't jumped in. But like Chris, I was gonna run through, so I redeemed the code for the first Psychonauts and played about halfway through that. So yeah, we got some catching up to do. So hopefully we'll have an update where we've actually played more of that. Yeah, have you played the original before?
Oh yeah, I played it years ago on the OG Xbox, and I enjoyed it a lot. It kind of reminded me, and it kind of came out around the same time as what's the other one, Beyond Good and Evil. So those were like, I was really into both of those games. I was like in 04, 05, something like that. And so, Majesco, like I said, Majesco is a developer that actually, I think they went under though. They had another game on the original Xbox. This one right here. This is actually my favorite game on the OG Xbox. It's Rising. Advent Rising, dope game.
I've never heard of that.
Yes,
this is a fantastic sci-fi. It's basically
Halo, but third person Halo.
Third person, it's a third person Halo game for sure. But Orson Scott Card, he's a famous sci-fi writer. He wrote the story for it.
Tommy Tallarico did the music.
The voice cast is fantastic. Gideon Wyeth, the protagonist, he's voiced by Corey Matthews from Boy Meets World.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a dope
It's
game,
awesome.
and just nobody really talks about it. But
I did like a hidden gems video. I call them diamonds in the rough on my channel. But I did
Yeah.
an Xbox or diamonds in the rough, and that was on it.
yeah, for
And
sure.
I went to the first round of video games live concerts, and Tommy Tallarico hosts them, or at least he did the first one. And they played a big piece of music from Advent Rising. It was
Yeah,
pretty
dude,
awesome. With
like
the
that.
choir
yeah.
and everything. It was great.
The
Wow.
score, yeah, that's some of his best work in my
Yeah.
opinion. Like I
Yeah.
love the soundtrack.
I didn't think he had classical style music in him, but
Yeah,
he's good at it.
Now that I think of it, I have seen your video, Chris, and it's more. Yeah, I totally forgot about it because I think I remember checking it out. I hope I can get it for the price that's on your copy there, $5.99.
oh yeah. Advent Rising is not an
It's-
expensive game.
it's dirt
sub
cheap.
$10 easy all day.
Yeah.
And
well,
unfortunately, it just didn't sell well because it was actually planned for a trilogy. It was part of a trilogy, and the first one didn't sell well, and so they scrapped the other two games. They were also making a standalone title on the PSP. That one got scrapped as well in development. So it was a bummer because that's a great game, and they were doing some really good world building, and I don't know why people just didn't like the game. I really don't. Like, it's fantastic. So
I think it's one of those games that just came out during like a window with a bunch of other heavy hitters and kind of.
it must have. Like, I
got
can't remember
lost,
what
yeah.
else was popping at the time, but and it was toward the end of the Xbox life. So I think the Xbox 360 may have already been out, in fact, because that game came out, I want to say in like 2005. Like, it was a late Xbox title.
Oh,
And so the 360 may have already been out at the time. And so people just kind of shifted focus away, because at the time Xbox they were the ones most anxious to start the seventh generation.
Absolutely.
Because the word was they were losing money on every Xbox console they sold. And so they were ready to start, the seventh generation. So.
Red Ring of Death.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's why we have those problems. Because
Yeah,
Maybe they should have been if they'd been
so
slightly less
anxious.
anxious. Yeah.
Yeah.
So iron out the problems. What did it cost them? $1 billion to fix
Oh,
all
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Is that $1 billion
huge.
problem? Yeah.
Bill
Yikes.
Gates can afford it.
Yeah, he's like, oh man.
He's like, Tuesday.
Right. Hey man, they ate that cost and it was worth it though. Like,
Yeah.
they did the right thing. Like, and I mean, it really helped, the 360's image, because the 360, in my opinion, is still one of the greatest consoles of all time. And and even during the seventh generation, that was my go-to console, even though I'm a huge Sony fan. Like,
Absolutely. That's where I got
like
my
the
world
360
record.
Mhm.
Yeah,
that's
he's
my
got
biggest-
an Xbox 360 world record.
That's dope.
And that's it remains my biggest collection of all my consoles. So
Yeah.
definitely got a big spot in my heart for the 360.
Mm-hmm.
It's yeah. And the funny thing about the Red Ring is I've had three I use heavily. I have a lot of 360s, but
Mm-hmm.
personal ones I bought brand new, I've got 3 of them, and I've never had one Red Ring. I
That's
just got
crazy.
like the Pro was the
Mhm.
first one I had, and the drive just started sticking, and that bugged
Right.
my wife. That bugged my wife when she'd see me have to Fonzie it every time I opened it to get the disc to pop out. But
Yeah.
it still works like a champ. And then my
Is that
Elite,
the black one, the Elite?
the Elite's the black one. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the second one I got. She got me that.
Oh, okay.
Like after she thought I was like getting mad at the Xbox. I'm like, no, this is just how it opens. I'm not mad at it. I don't like that I have to do this. I'm sorry I have to hit you. It's just like, but then she got me the Elite, and that's what I did my record and everything on.
Nice.
It still runs like a champ. It's still in my living room actually. Kids play it more than I do now, but it's more like it's kind of been not really put out to pasture, but it gets a little lighter use now. It's become more of like the Kinect one. So
I
when
see.
the kids want to play Just Dance or play an exercise game or whatever the hell we got for the Kinect, we fire it up. So it's actually had kind of a resurgence since the kids have gotten into games, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, I want you guys to game because I game, but I want it to not be as severe as me.
Yeah.
And if I can get you guys moving, that's awesome. So I'm like, hey, check out this Kinect thing. And
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's
so-
one thing I never got into. I never really tried the Kinect. Like,
it's honestly, it's so hit and miss.
yeah,
Like, I can see some people being like, ooh, I'm going to check it out, and buying like one of the one of the more well-known titles, and some of those control just like trash.
Yeah.
And some of them have like Star Wars Just Dance in it, like the Star Wars game. And that's what puts a lot of people out there like, Star Wars looks awesome. And they get it. And they're like,
Right.
half of it's this dance game.
That's too bad.
Where it's just, yeah. And I've had that since it was new. And I've never put the Star Wars Connect game in it. You know, that's probably the reason.
I played it when I first got it, and I was just kind of like, no.
Yeah.
But I found out something recently, because it never really worked well when I would play it, but it worked okay when my ex-girlfriend would play it.
Yeah, it depends on the
it turns out that if you're heavy set, it can't read you very well.
Huh.
So, but she was rail thin. I mean, she looked like she was anorexic. That's how skinny she was, and she had no problem doing stuff with it. But whenever I would do it, it would barely read my legs.
Interesting.
And stuff. It was weird. And I found out that if you're heavy set, it has a hard time like reading you.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
You should.
That's what I gotta say. Like the PlayStation Move. Like,
damn my thyroid.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, and that's why I just feel like the PlayStation Move, like out of all of them, like it was so accurate in comparison, even to the Wii with Wii Motion Plus. Like the PlayStation Move was on point when it came to that, and I can't think of any games that I played that on the Move that were wonky like that.
No,
like,
you because every one of them you calibrate it and it's good.
Yeah, and then it's good. Like I remember, like, and the reason why I have to tell everybody this every time, but in regards to the PlayStation Move, that's the reason why I started my YouTube channel. Because I was watching Metal Jesus Rocks. Like, this is like 2016. He and Kelsey Lewin did the PlayStation 3 buyer's guide. And then they got to talking about the different controllers for the PlayStation 3. And there's this part where he's like, okay, there's one more. And she's like, no, there's not. No, there's not. And he's like, I guess we got to talk about it. You know, they start talking about the PlayStation Move. And Kelsey goes on to say that the PlayStation, like the Move controls don't work outside of the Wii. And I'm like, that's cap. Like, I feel like you guys haven't played the Move.
Yeah.
It's putting that widespread misinformation out, kind of like when
I was like
when AVGN goes,
Move,
this
like,
game's shitty, and then people play it and they're like,
Nightmare on Elm Street on Nintendo was a crap game, and I played. I'm like, this is kind of awesome.
I feel like she was just like recycling what she had heard. And, and no disrespect to that. I love Kelsey Lewin. I love Metal Jesus Rocks, and like I said, he inspired me to start my channel. So I was like, man, I'm gonna make a video. And I think on that video, I made a long response, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna just make a video, and then he's just gonna watch it, and then he'll see. And of course, that's how naive I was at the time. I thought I was just gonna make a video, and then he was gonna watch it. But so that was the whole start of my channel. And then like I started making videos, and like, oh wow, these videos are really bad. And so I started watching tutorials on how to use cameras and stuff like that, and got into filmmaking and photography because of that. And so it's ironically, I have yet to make that PlayStation Move video. I'm planning it out right now. So I want to shoot it like in the very near future. And oddly enough, like he has actually watched a few of my videos now, Metal Jesus Rock. So I feel like if I like reach out to him about it, he might actually watch it now. So that's
you do a follow up, and he'll be your co-host on it.
Yeah, one of these days, like we'll do a follow up.
You can have him. You can have him on. He can like hang his head in shame, and be like, "You was right."
Lightsaber Samurai was right.
Right. And like I said, it's just like I feel like he was going on what she was saying at the time. She was the one that was really talking about it, and so he hadn't really experienced it at the point. And honestly, like listening to that, I felt like she hadn't either. She was just saying what she had heard and what the general consensus was. But I tell people when they ask me, oh, how is the Move? Does it work? I tell them, well, if you want to get a gauge for that, look no further than the PlayStation VR, right? Like it's the exact same technology.
Yep.
And it works fantastic on it's it's perfect on the VR. So it's like darn near, so it's like if you want to know how good the PlayStation Move was, it's as good as the VR because it's the same technology.
Exactly. I've been really into the light gun games lately on it.
There's so many good light gun games for the PlayStation Move.
Yeah, that was the thing was I had no interest in it because of probably Metal Jesus's video on it and all that. And I remember hearing stuff. And then Jason and I played House of the Dead 4 at the Midwest Gaming Classic with the PlayStation Move on a PS3. And I was just kind of like, this is actually really awesome. I think I need to try this out. And Jason, right then and there, he's like, well, you have the VR. You can use your Move controllers on your PS3. He's like, what?
Right.
Yeah. Save yourself $100.
Yeah, I was like, what? And next thing you know, now every time I see a Move game, I got that exact same thing.
Yeah, put that bad boy in there, and it's
I just got SOCOM 4 also just But yeah, I bought that, and I bought that little movement controller, the little navigation controller or whatever.
Yeah.
I think mine's
And
busted. I got one
Now
to play Rambo.
I've got a giant stack of move games because I like
Absolutely.
it so much.
PlayStation Move is fantastic. There's so many good, like the Time Crisis game.
Yeah,
Then you got that combo packets up there. It's kind of expensive
we're
now.
Raising Storm and
And
the remake.
Deadstream Pirates or whatever it's called.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
And
The only one that bummed me out with SOCOM is because you need to like use the stick to control it too. I thought it was going to be like on rails, and I was a bit bummed by that.
right. And so yeah, it's like with games like that, or like because what was the other one? GoldenEye was the same way. It controlled like that, and it's like after a while it gets heavy, right? To hold it like that, like so that was my only knock to the PlayStation Move, is that basically like you have to hold it level to aim, which is kind of more realistic. But I like the way that they did it with the PlayStation Aim controller, because they fixed that so you don't get so fatigued by like holding the controller, because if you get tired and aim it down, then like that messes up like the reticle and messes up your whole like aiming like situation. So
yeah, I played Rambo, and I played a 2-player with just 2 of the rifles, and I was like, this is how Rambo is meant to be played.
right, yeah, just
but then there comes to a part. There's a couple parts where you have to use the stick to like dodge or go behind cover or whatever it was. Or there's like
that one I hadn't got a chance to play.
Chris, remember, don't buy a copy. I've still got that copy for you. So
Okay.
While you're going crazy, don't get Rambo.
Okay.
It's okay. It's okay. It's not the best. It kind of feels like one of those heavy fire games.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty fun. Some stuff's like I'd say it's 75% good, but then there's a couple parts in certain levels where you're like, man, this is just busted. I haven't done anything wrong, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I mean, as a Rambo fan, I was like, I gotta have this, and luckily I got it right before it started skyrocketing, because I think it's like it's like an $80-$90 game again.
Yeah, 60-80, and I don't think it's not worth all that.
No, I would not. Yeah, I would not
no.
recommend
So
it for that.
I'll try to wait it out, see if it goes back down. If not, that's quite all right.
The reason I got a
buddy?
second copy is like they sent it, and they just declared it themselves, like, it's lost. We'll send you another one, and then
oh no.
And then before the resent copy got to me,
It showed up.
the original one showed up, and I was just like, all right. So I was like, Chris, don't go buying this.
Okay, so that's the Alien versus Predator figure. That's right there.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we every time we meet up, my wife laughs when I meet up with Chris or Josh, my co-host from the other podcast. We always have like a gift exchange. She's like, "You guys are cute. You guys just always have gifts. We always have gifts for each other. We always just do a big trade, because anytime one of us will get a big lot, we'll have doubles or something. We're like, hey, you interested in any of this before? I trade it away, give it away, sell it.
Right.
So it's the inner circle gets first dibs.
Right on.
Or like, I see a bunch of stuff on clearance. You guys need any of these games? They're going for $3.
Yeah.
But so yeah, it works pretty well. Yeah, we just gotta endure the my wife trying to make us feel bad.
You guys are cute.
She says that every time. Oh, look at them. They got like little gifts for each other. But now it's been like building up for
a year.
A year and a half. She's gonna be like, wow, you guys just move right in together, I think, at this point. So yeah, it's been pretty cool. You know what else is pretty cool though? Them remaking that Dead Space. Ooh.
Yeah, that's exciting.
The remake I didn't know I needed.
I was hoping it wouldn't stay shelved forever. I was hoping for another kind of sequel to bring it back in the direction of the first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
But reboot, I'll take that.
Yeah.
If they do it anywhere near the quality of Resident Evil 2 remake, I'll be over the moon about it. I'm just from what I hear, EA has actually like expressly said like no microtransactions, no skins, no general eBay.
Yeah, just
EA
none of
practices.
that, man. Like,
So from what I've heard, they've already like said no, we're not doing any of that stuff. Like, they might actually be learning a lesson, or just trying to look like they're learning a lesson.
right.
Remember what they did with Fallen Order?
Yeah, so I was gonna say Jedi Fallen Order. They did really good by it. After everyone called them out about Battlefront 2, they more than made up for it before it even came out.
Nice.
Thought it was a little bit too late for that one, but yeah, they seem to be kind of realizing what they do to themselves. You know, like, hey, if you just make good games, people will buy them. You don't need to gouge everyone. We're going to be waiting in line to buy the DLC. You know, if you put out a story DLC, or we'll want more if you don't shove more in our face than we feel like.
Right.
Yeah, if you don't do obvious money grubbing kind of stuff,
this
people will give you
$2
money.
$2 to open it. Like, we don't need that shit. So,
but yeah, I had like no interest in it at first because I was just kind of like, why don't you just make another one? Just make a sequel. I don't want to remake. And then I saw the trailer and I went, oh, I want.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad they took it off.
But I'm sure they will. They'll make another
yeah.
one. So if the remake does well, and they might just be kind of throwing it out there to see if there's still interest in the franchise. It might be better for them to cheaper to make a remake as opposed to a whole new game. And so see if you guys like that, then we'll go ahead and do it. I'll definitely be out to support that.
Yeah, definitely. I'm planning on running through all 3 of the other games.
I still got to beat part 3. I gave up part 3. In part 3, I gave up about the halfway point.
Honestly, from everything I heard about 3, I think mine's still in the plastic. So
yeah, I was just kind of like I was dodging asteroids. I was piloting the big ass ship you're in through an asteroid belt, and I was like, "This isn't Dead Space."
Right.
I feel like I'm putting that needle from the second one in my eye voluntarily in real life.
Yeah, that part is messed up.
Yeah, I need some messed up in my games once in a while.
Oh yeah,
that gory shit. So I'm all about that. So yeah, I'm all definitely. So the general consensus is we're all pretty stoked about it.
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely be one of the games I'm looking for when I finally jump to the next gen. Was anyone surprised at all that all these games got pushed back this week?
No.
I
knew it was coming.
I like seeing all the reaction YouTubers going like, "Oh my god, this got pushed back." You're like, you actually thought that was coming out this year? Oh, that was just Sony trying to push consoles, man.
What's it called? Horizon 2. They hadn't even given it a real solid date yet, so when they pushed it back, I was like, I saw that coming because if they were going to be undecisive on a date, of course they're going to push it back.
I'm like, God of War will probably be out like holiday next year. Like, I don't care if it's as good as the last one. I can wait.
As long as it's good, take your time, man. Don't give in to the pressure like CD Projekt Red did.
Yeah,
they put out Cyberpunk.
Right. Yeah. As much as I did enjoy Cyberpunk.
Cyberpunk's pretty awesome.
But they definitely could have kept that in the oven a bit longer. I definitely see where they're coming with that. But
people are still like ragging on it online and stuff.
Like, look, man, that's y'all fault. Like, y'all should have just listened to them when they said, like, hey, look, man, it's not ready. We need more time. Instead of sending them death threats and all of that craziness. And then they say, fine, here, have the game. And then you're like,
and then they complain, it's broken.
No, it's death threats. You made me waste my money.
Like, that's what we was trying to tell y'all. Like,
it's like they did it to themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, we gamers, we did it to ourselves.
Yeah, maybe just let people do what they're doing. Don't rush other people's art.
Yeah.
Usually pre-orders, you're not putting down more than like $5-10 at a time anyway.
Right.
So don't worry about it. Your money's not spent until it ships, especially if you order from Amazon. So just let it be. I'm excited too. Just wait though.
Yeah.
And every time they postpone a game, I'm like, this game's gonna be better now. And never like, oh, you know what? They're probably ripping it in half and all this. They're always making it better. I'm never really that bummed. I'm like, I would like to play it sooner rather than later, but I'm not on my deathbed, so there's no rush. So I think other people just need to learn that. Like, we're so used to getting everything right away. Like, everything's so instant.
Well, it's like, how spoiled are we? Like, we want it right now, and if you don't give it to me right now, I'm gonna say I'm gonna kill you, kind of crap.
Right? Yeah. Like, what kind of entitlement is that? Like, that's insane.
Yeah, that's the real downfall of social media. Is that everyone's so accessible now to be, lightning rods for people's hate, and they can track you down pretty easily and just send you these death threats and shit. I don't remember death threats back in the day. Hurry up with Super Mario Bros. 3. I'm gonna kill you.
Right.
Yeah, sending
probably-
death threats
you're
to Nintendo Power. How can you publish this letter in your mail
Right,
section?
yeah.
Let's go further. Send it in with your send it in with your quickest time on.
Yeah,
on the
and I
mic.
drew a picture of Link on the envelope too. So
yeah, my moto will see this for sure.
yeah.
Like, the hell with that. Well,
So what you been playing?
what I've been playing? Yeah, what have you been playing? Lightsaber Samurai. What have you been playing?
I've been going back through the Phantom Pain again. So I've been playing a lot on Metal Gear Solid 5.
Oh, really?
And I don't know, like I'm a huge fan of the series, but I remember I played the Phantom Pain initially, and it was just like, it's cool. And then, I'm like, it's too different from the other games, and I never.
It's an open world one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's awesome. Like, it's really like a refinement of the gameplay. I think I was put off because the cat was out of the bag about the game not being finished, and that was all the turmoil that Kojima was having with Konami and all of that stuff. So I'm like, man, I know I'm not going to be able to finish, play like the game as he intended. So that was kind of a sour spot. But I've since gone back and been playing that, and yeah, it's been fantastic. So I've also been trying to dive into some of these bad games here on these terrible games. So my buddy Generation Pixel, he put out a video a while ago about the worst games in his collection according to Metacritic, and so I've got a stack of my own that I need to dive into.
I just got Altered Species myself.
Yeah, and so according to the Metacritic, and I tried to look for the worst games. I think the highest rated one in this stack is like a 35.
Wow, I didn't even know there was a
one-
Biker Mice from Mars PS2
Yeah,
game.
I didn't either.
You say what?
I didn't even know there was a Biker Mice from Mars PS2 game.
I
knew
know.
about
I know.
knew about the Super
Biker
Nintendo
Mice
one.
from Mars,
That was like a Super Nintendo game.
I covered it on the channel not too long ago, but it's an interesting so it kind of switches between like a combat racing style game, kind of like the Spy Hunter games on PS2. Okay. And then it'll switch from that to kind of like 3D beat 'em up style levels when you go into interiors and things like that. So they had a lot of good ideas, but the execution, I mean, the graphics are kind of meh. It definitely was a game that didn't have a very high budget. Honestly, I thought it was pretty good, especially for the price you can get it. Because again, that's another game that I got for $8, I think, or whatever I paid. I can't remember what I paid for it. $6.99 is what I paid for it. I don't know if you can see it, but $6.99. So I'm like, it was worth $6.99 for sure. And I thought it was a pretty good game for $6.99. But if you're talking about paying full price for it, then I could see how I got the 35 or whatever it got. But
I'm gonna have to look for that one because I love a bad license game.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
If I was to do more reviews and stuff, I'd be doing what I would pay for it. I wouldn't do a out of 10. I might do a loose out of 10 score, but then I'd be pay how much I'd pay for it after playing it, knowing what I think it would be worth. Wait for it to be $20 or under.
Right. And I do that often on my channel too. And when I give scores to games, I give it the score in relation to how much it costs, how much I paid for it. Because there's a lot of games that what's another one? Bullet Witch on the 360. I love that game. I don't know why. It's not a great game, but for $10, it's a great game. I would have been mad if I paid $60 for it, but
exactly. Just like that Order 1886 game, everyone was hating.
Oh, that was that's a half an hour long.
If I spent $80 on it, I'd hate it.
Exactly. But now that you can get that for next to nothing, it's a nice little third-person shooter, cover-based shooter, fantastic graphics, it's a great looking game, so I had a cool premise, there was a lot of pieces there, but unfortunately it just wasn't very long. But I thought for the price it's going for now, 1886 is a really good game.
Definitely. I think I've even picked up a couple of super cheap copies and given to people play it.
Like Battlefront 2?
I heard Battlefront 2.
Yeah, same thing with Battlefront 2. I snagged that up way after the fact, and they had patched and added some stuff to it, and by the time I got a hold of it and I think I paid $15 for it, and so for $15, Battlefront 2 was awesome. I enjoyed that game a lot. It was definitely much better than the first one,
Yeah, I was hearing all the crap about it, but I had the deluxe edition pre-order, and I was like, you know what? I'll just play it for myself, and I was glad I did.
Mm-hmm.
And then about I don't know, couldn't have been that old,
was-
maybe 4 or 5 months old. My local Walmart had the PS4 copy for $2 a piece.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I bought like 10, 12 copies, and we went to the Midwest Gaming Classic, and I was like, "Who wants coffee?" And
Yeah, you're passing them out at dinner to everybody.
Heck yeah.
Hey man, nice to meet you. I have a copy of Battlefront.
Yeah, have a copy of Battlefront. You
Yeah, it was cool. Like I said, it was a great game.
palm the people like your card, like your business card.
Yeah, man, it was a nice looking game. It had a really good story mode too. Because
Yeah, I like the story
I'm
mode a
not
lot,
much
yeah.
of a multiplayer gamer these days,
Yeah.
but I really enjoyed the storyline of Battlefront 2.
Funny thing is, I have fun playing the multiplayer on that game, but I am trash at it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not usually too bad at shooters online. I was trash at Battlefront 2, but I still enjoyed it. And all the stuff they were saying, like you'd have to play like 100 hours just to unlock Luke. Like I was probably like 20 hours and I had everything unlocked. I'm like, see, it's not like that anymore. I'm not that good.
Right.
I'm average at it, and I've got everything unlocked up to this point.
Yeah, and it's like playing it for 20 hours, like, okay, like I'm gonna do that anyway. Like, oh yeah, that's when they say, oh, you got to do this for this. Fine, I was gonna do that anyway, so
yeah,
I'll take that as opposed to like paying for a loot chest or whatever. Like,
yeah,
I had a buddy of mine. He spent so much money on Fortnite. Like I'm talking like $3,000. Like he spent on like skins and V-Bucks, and I'm like, bro, like you don't have a car.
And now you know what? Now you know why.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, like you don't have a car, like. And he'll do the same thing for like the sports game. Like he's a huge 2K fan. So he play the NBA 2K like every year, and then of course he'll buy the super deluxe edition and then pay to be at level whatever at the start. So as like, I mean, if to each his own, but I'm just like, that's a lot of money, bro. And you do that every single year when the new 2K comes out.
Yeah, and it's like you
spend. Yeah, you spent over $500 on like 2K like 17, and then when 2K18 came out, I was like, oh, so you're not gonna play that one no more? It's like, nah, that's the old one now. I'm like, wow, like you just spent $500 for a game you're gonna play for like 10 months. That's crazy. Crazy.
The camera angles will be the right way. You don't actually have to pay courtside prices to see the game that close up, right?
Yeah.
I bought the Bleachers edition. I can't even barely see what I'm playing.
Yeah. I got the nosebleed edition.
Man.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. No matter how much I like a game, like I'll buy a map pack or two, but I'm not.
Well, you know how I am a huge Mortal Kombat fan. I mean, duh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But like when the Mortal Kombat games come out, they always have like that. Oh, you can unlock everything in the crypt off the bat. You can get all these easy fatalities, all these skins and stuff. No, I'm not buying the game all over again because when you equal it out, it's another $60 to do all that extra crap.
Right.
Like, no, I'm good. I'll just wait.
Well, a lot of that stuff you're just going to unlock
from
playing the game and enjoying it and learning it and all that stuff. Like, you're going to get all that stuff anyway. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I'm not buying unlocks for any game.
No.
Because then why would you play it?
Yeah, like that's what I'm playing it for. Like, that's the payoff. Like, I get to unlock cool stuff as I go along. Like,
yeah, like this is the first Mortal Kombat game. Like, I've seen the pattern for a long time now that don't buy it right away because they're just going to come out with the XL version.
Oh yeah, I always get the Game of the Year edition or limited edition, whatever.
And then they pulled the sneaky with this one.
Yeah, they did. They did it twice.
I bought, I waited on 11. I went to E3 and they gave me the ice cream cones and all the cool crap. I'm like, man, I got to play it. Oh, it's going to be a wait for this game. And I was like, no. And then they're like adding in the Terminator, which if you know anything about me, I love the Terminator.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then they're like, Robocop. I'm like, when's this complete edition coming out? And then Aftermath comes out. So I'm like, oh, the Aftermath bundle, that's everything. And I buy it. And then, like, 3 months later?
3 months later,
the ultimate edition. I'm like, you assholes.
Yeah, the ultimate version comes out. It's got Rambo in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'll buy maybe when I get a PS5, I'll buy the complete edition.
That's what I did. I got the PS5 version, but I don't have a PS5 to play it on.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Terminator, my only PS5 game I've got already is Terminator Resistance Enhanced. So.
I haven't heard of that one. Terminator Resistance.
Yeah,
it's actually out on the PS4 and Xbox One as well, but they re-released it on the Xbox Series S and X and PS5, I believe. But I think only Limited Run is the only one that let a physical copy of that go. And it was, if you're a Terminator fan, I definitely recommend checking those games out. Like, it's in the future. It's kind of like what you envisioned when they were making that Christian Bale movie. Like, oh, the future war. It's going to be like the flashbacks from the first couple of movies.
No,
you're like,
the whole movie takes place during the day.
You're like, I didn't even think there was daytime in the future war. What the hell's going on here? It's 3/4 of the movie. So it's, if you're a Terminator fan, it's really cool. If you're not a Terminator fan, you probably wouldn't think it's as cool, but it's got like so much like nods and like really
I'll check it out.
Really cool stuff for,
and you get to have sex in it.
Oh yeah, there's that.
Is it a third person or a first person game?
It's first person.
First person?
I think you might be able to toggle third person, but I don't recall.
That'd be cool.
But there's like conversation trees to like build relationships with people too, like in Mass Effect
style. Yeah,
there's kind of it's an almost broken skill tree where like you get it all early on. So I guess that's cool, but you're done like building up your character right away, and then there's like you can craft whatever you want, but like you barely ever seem to have to use it because there's actually like a lot of ammo and stuff you pick up. But, like,
there's stuff all over the place.
It's cool that they put it in there, but it's a really cool game. It's probably the most Terminator feeling game I've played since like T2 arcade game.
Okay.
I mean, I have them all. I played them all, and that's probably my favorite Terminator game. Definitely
I'll have
better
to
than
check it out.
Definitely better than a bunch of other ones. I mean, Dawn of Fate's pretty cool, and
Redemption,
Terminator 3 Redemption is pretty cool, but I think this one's my favorite still. So definitely check that out. It might still be available from Limited Run. It wasn't too much. I bought the like collector's edition one. It was only a little bit more because it came with a steelbook, and I'm a steelbook slut, so anytime I see a good steelbook, I'm like, ooh,
right.
So I don't need an art book. I don't need stickers and all that. But when I see a good steelbook or a statue, then that's when I'm interested in a collector's edition. So anything else you've been playing lately, or pretty much just your bad games and
that's about it. Just that and Metal Gear. There was a game I'll show it here in a little bit with the pickups, but there was a game that I actually started playing today that I wanted to take a look at because it was a game I've been wanting for a long time and finally kind of snagged a copy of it for the OG Xbox. I've been trying to finish up my OG Xbox, all the games I want for it anyway.
Completionist, you always just end up with like a million sports games you're never going to play or something. I don't really like to be completionist to too many. The only thing
look at my Dreamcast collection.
Oh my god, I wish I could. I'm always on the lookout for Dreamcast.
I only need like 12 more games. I need 12 more games to have a complete set.
That's insane.
And they're all the common ones. They're all common. Really? Like either sports games or racing games. That's all I need.
Oh, that's awesome. Man, so you got like all the goodies. I wish I had adopted the Dreamcast earlier. Like I remember when it was a thing, like I was just hardcore on the PlayStation 2, so you couldn't tell me nothing about any of the other consoles, but it's like the Dreamcast didn't have as big a library, but like the quality like was on point. Like almost every game on the Dreamcast is fantastic. Like
I want to say like after playing all the stuff that I have, I want to say like 75% of the games that I have are pretty awesome. Even most of the sports games, and I'm not really a sports game person. Even some of the sports games.
Sports games, especially back in the day, like at the time, like it was insane. Like the Dreamcast spawned the 2K series, if I'm not mistaken, and sports games back then were, I mean, the best ones were on the Dreamcast for sure.
I mean, I'm not a sports guy either, but I can appreciate a good like arcadey.
They had a lot of real fun arcadey sports games on there.
I can get it. I can get down with that kind of stuff if it feels like kind of like I'm playing like a reskinned Mario sports game. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
all right, I'll give it a
Mhm.
shot. If it's not too in depth with like playing a football game and you have to pick all the plays and all this shit, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't watch football. I don't know
What are the rules? I don't
Hopefully-
understand the rules.
This looks like a lot's going on when you pick the play in the playbook. Well, yeah, maybe this.
Mhm.
But yeah, definitely. I've definitely played a couple cool games on the Dreamcast for sports, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's probably my saddest collection. I think I've got like 15
Oh yeah, I
games for
got
it.
maybe 15 games for the Dreamcast. Maybe.
Oh God. I'm looking at mine. I'm just like, oh Jesus.
I did a quick count, 18 games,
Right on.
and one of them's FX Unit Yuki, so it's a newer one.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. On top of the regular, the official games, I also have all the repros and new games that have
Right.
come out and all that kind of stuff too. So yeah.
So you made up for
Absolutely.
the. You can say complete good collection. Just put the asterisk. Complete collection. I just don't want that other crap.
I'm just sad that I own Spirit of Speed 1927. That game is the worst.
Wow, ooh, LJN
Oh.
at its finest.
It was so bad that they slapped the LJN logo on it.
Damn.
We're just gonna have to credit these guys, then people know. It's
Yeah.
up. Yeah, I've seen videos on that. I'm like, I don't think anyone's exaggerating how bad that game is.
And no, I played it for 5 minutes, and I was like, this is as much time I'm going to sink into this game as I'm willing to. That's it.
I watched the video and I felt like I got ripped off, and I didn't even buy it. Right on. So, Chris, what have you been playing?
Not much. I've been watching stuff mostly, but finally beat 007 Legends.
Yeah,
And I was talking about that in the last episode.
yeah, because that was your backlog.
No.
roulette.
I was just
wasn't?
playing that.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I don't think it was a backlog. roulette.
It's not that great. It's just I remember I was complaining about the controls being either way too loose or way too slow, depending on where you put the sensitivity slider. So there's like no middle ground.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're thrown into scenarios that are new, you haven't done anything. Like I said, the first segment of the game is you play through Goldeneye. No, sorry, not Goldeneye. Goldfinger.
Goldfinger, yeah.
And then the second section is on Her Majesty's Secret Service, and you're just immediately thrown into this skiing section, and the instructions on what to do flash by on the screen so fast you can't read it.
Damn.
So I couldn't figure out how to get, because you're chasing a bunch of snowmobiles on skis and you have to catch up, and I couldn't figure out how to catch up.
Yeah, because
So
that game's just like a highlight of segments, right?
Yeah, it's like
like
the
the
whole
big action
reason
scene
for
from
it
each one of
being
the
was
movies.
it was like we're gonna put Daniel Craig in all the old Bond movies.
Yeah.
So it's Goldfinger, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, License to Kill, Die Another
Moonraker.
Day, and then Moonraker's the last one. And then it says when you beat the game, which I finally got to all through it. It says, oh, by the way, there's Skyfall DLC coming in November 2012. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I got to go find the DLC. I go to download it. It's not online anymore.
Yeah, no, look for it on the what system do you have it on?
PS3.
Okay, yeah, get the Wii U version because it's got everything on the disc.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Well, I've got both the 360 and the Wii U.
Yeah, so the Wii U
I
version
think I
is
downloaded.
the definitive version of that game because
Okay, now I
Yeah.
know.
and it's cheap too. It's sub $20. You can go get it and it's
Okay.
pretty common. So
I'll
I
definitely
think-
do that and get rid of my PS3 version then.
mhm.
I think I downloaded the Skyfall DLC in anticipation of buying the game
Mm-hmm.
because I
Well, for the PS3 or the 360?
360. So maybe it'll save the game and I'll be like, you missed out, bro.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. What sucks about it is like you beat the Moonraker section, and the game just ends. There's nothing.
Yeah.
It's like oh, by the way, DLC coming, and then there's end credits, and I'm like, that's it.
Yeah, you know what? A game did that even worse. The Hellboy game for the 360,
Oh, really?
Wow, I didn't
Where-
play that one.
where every game for the 360 shipped with 1,000 gamer score you could get, right?
Mhm.
Right.
Well, Hellboy shipped with 750, I believe, and the other 250 was going to be added in from the DLC that was going to come out, but the DLC never came out.
Damn.
So I think the achievements are already listed, but you can't
You
get
can't
them.
get them.
So it's one of those
Right.
games that you're like doomed. You're like, why even start playing it if you're like a completionist, right? If you're like, oh,
Right.
you're like 1,000 every game I play. So I've never actually played that game. I'm not saying I'm a completionist, but I used to be pretty big into getting achievements and
Mhm.
stuff. And yeah, I don't know. That's pretty shitty to do. I think another game that did that was Lord of the Rings Battle for Middle Earth 2, if I remember correctly. So
Well, also, what was it? Asura's Wrath kind of did something like that.
Asura's Wrath did do that. Yeah, where you had to unlock the last 3 chapters via DLC or something like that.
It's like it's basically buying half of a
if
game.
they're still there before they're gone.
Yeah, I should probably do that too.
shady stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, I might be able to experience all the. I don't think there's any achievements tied to the Skyfall DLC.
I'm gonna have to look into that Wii U version now.
But yeah, I'm gonna. I was planning to check it out, but before we recorded this episode, but I just haven't been home, and I've been playing games a bunch, but I've been kind of wrapping up games I had in the chamber already, or I was already had progress in. But it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you've been playing, or just 007?
And well, I went back to playing Saw.
Yeah.
And because I remember I got stuck in that one part where they give you like 10 seconds to beat a puzzle that takes normally a minute and a half to beat.
Yeah, you got through your poison room.
I finally figured it out. I kept on remembering what I was doing in the valve puzzle that they gave me, and I want to say I'm maybe like 20 minutes away from the end now. So I'll probably beat it tomorrow.
Sweet, yeah. It's like I was saying when you mentioned it, like that. It's a good like. I got a lazy afternoon and play like a lazy afternoon game, and it was fun like that. It was definitely one of those games I'm like, well, I'm glad I rented it. I own it.
It is very repetitive. Yeah, it is very, very repetitive. It's like run through some corridors, beat on a guy every once in a while, and then there's 5 different puzzles that will just keep recycling for you, just make them harder and harder each time.
Yeah. So it's just like right when it gets to be like almost too much, we're like, okay, come on now, and then you're like, oh, there's the end. All right.
Yeah.
Decent afternoon. And it's easy achievements too, so that's cool.
Hold on.
What?
Technical difficulty. My battery just died. Let me put a battery in there real fast.
Oh, shoot, no worries. I've been kind of keeping busy with the games the last little bit. I think the last games I talked about was Call of Duty World War II, wasn't it? Or no, Uncharted.
I think so.
Well, since the last one, I beat Uncharted 2. I enjoyed it a lot more than Drake's Fortune. The Red Star, which was my...
I want to get that game.
My
Red Star is so good.
My Backlog Roulette pick from last episode was Red Star, so I played through that. Excellent. It was as good as I've been hearing. So I'm glad I picked that up once I heard it was good. Then I had the PS2 out. I was like, I'm gonna check out these Contra games. I kind of put them in for a few minutes when I first got them, but I didn't really sit down and try to beat them. So I played right through Shattered Soldier and Neo Contra, and nice. They complement each other really well. They got a lot of the same quality things, but they're both really good games.
Shattered Soldier is awesome.
Yeah, Shattered Soldier was classic. Classic side-scrolling Contra with,
but it's like boss rush the game almost sometimes.
Yeah, they put in for sure. And it's like 3D, 2D done right. Like it's 2-dimensional, but it's like the 3D rendering was really well done. And then Neo Contra is kind of like an isometric style, but they did that really good, and still feels like Contra. Excellent. Same things I liked about both games. Like you, instead of waiting to pick up the spread shot or whatever, you got the 3 different guns you can switch between. I really like that. Rather, you get hit once, you're like, damn it, I lost a good weapon. Now I'm just stuck with the pea shooter again. Yeah. So that was a cool addition to the series that I felt like should have been in there from the beginning. Then I played Uncharted 3. It's pretty good. I think I liked these games more each one I played. The set pieces get better. There's more cool vistas, action sequences. I actually just kind of got really tired of the platforming after a while. It's like, climb. Oh, what do you know? It broke. Like they became my main complaint about this series is it feels like almost like I'm playing the video game equivalent of the Hangover movies, where the same kind of points in the story happen in each one with just a different. You're like, oh, I did the puzzle that took me 20 minutes and no one, they've been looking at this, but they can't figure it out. And I figured it out, and I get in there and I get the piece I've been looking for. We finally got it. We're on our way. And then I'll be having that. Every time they're always so shocked, like, oh man, the bad guy, he followed us in here. Like, of course he followed you in here. They always follow you. Close the door behind you. Or they break through the roof. You did all the puzzle, and then all you needed was a piece of dynamite to blow through the roof because that's where they came in. And I'm like, every time. So I was just kind of like, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like a Michael Bay movie. It's all style, not a lot of no real substance as long as storytelling. Like I didn't really feel for most of the characters. I found Nathan Drake to be a really, really generic protagonist. Honestly, I couldn't get into him at all. But then I played.
Can't be friends anymore.
After Uncharted 3, I played Bladed Fury, which is a really cool game. I picked up only about a month and a half. A little cool side scroller with hack and slash game with like Chinese art style. It's really cool. Pretty short. I think it was maybe like 2.5 hour game, but it's pretty solid.
Everyone was freaking out over a 2.5 hour game.
What do you mean freaking out?
Like everyone was like scrambling to get copies of it, like when it first came out.
Wait, which one was this?
Bladed Fury.
Oh, I didn't even know anyone was scrambling. I just saw
like I ran out and got it because everyone was saying it was sold out everywhere and it was only going to be available for like a 2-week window or something.
Oh.
And I was like, oh shit, I need to get one. I had to buy like a British copy because the American copies were all sold out.
Damn.
Well, damn, yeah, I wasn't scrambling. I just picked it up on a lark. I was like, yeah, it's kind of cool.
But I was like, but it ends up being a 2.5 hour game. Jesus.
Yeah, but it was really fun. Like I really enjoyed it. There wasn't much piss off to it. It was honestly pretty easy, but I mean, you unlock a harder difficulty. So, but I really thought it was a cool story. Yeah, I really enjoyed that game. And then I played Uncharted 4, and everything I didn't like about the first 3 games was better in this one. This was excellent story. I felt for everybody in the story in this one. I was all in on this one. It made me a fan of looking back, like, oh yeah, okay, I liked the whole series. This is good. The way it capped off Nathan's story, just everything about it. They fixed any complaints I had about any of the previous game. It wasn't as predictable. You know, they brought in his brother. I thought that whole storyline was really cool, the way they did it. Yeah, it was just excellent. I mean, this is the game that made me want to play the other 3 because, you know, like I'd said, I'd fixed my buddy's PS4, played 10 minutes of it to make sure it was fixed because it wasn't reading discs, and this is the game I used to test it. I'm like, man, I played 10 minutes of 4, and I've enjoyed it. I enjoyed it more than I enjoyed any of these games yet. And yeah, it held up and all the way through, all killer, no filler. Nice. Then I played Splatterhouse. Excellent. I've never beaten that game, so that was really cool.
That one I'm looking forward to cracking. I just got that recently. Looking forward to trying that out.
It's actually like I didn't realize how close I was to beating this game. Or
you're talking about the original TurboGrafx one.
The original TurboGrafx one, yeah. I never realized how close I was. I've owned it for years. And yeah, just finally gave it a go all the way through. It's only like half an hour long. I didn't realize how close I was to getting through it. Then I beat Bonk's Revenge while I was at.
You need to get that one, dude.
I just got the card.
This is the Japanese one that's uncut.
Oh yeah.
Shit. No, I need the Genesis game. So if anyone's throwing copies out, throw them my way. Then I played Bonk's Revenge. Despite having the first Bonk game, I chose to beat the second one first.
That one was the second one was my favorite, I think.
Yeah, it was.
I really like Bonk's Revenge.
It wasn't too hard, but it was a blast to play.
Was that the one that I found for you at Half Price Books?
No, you didn't get me a Bonk's game.
What are they?
You got me Blazing Lasers.
Oh, Legendary Axe.
Legendary Axe 2.
Yeah.
And Bloody Wolf?
Oh, Bloody Wolf, yeah.
Bloody Wolf, okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I thought of all 3 without looking behind me. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was decent length, not too challenging. No, there's no piss off parts, so that was good. And then last weekend we went for a little kind of up to the cabin type deal for a couple of days. I got cut short, as I mentioned earlier. And my nephew who wasn't there. He has one of those like plug and play arcade sticks like I got. I think they got one because I showed him it and he thought it was really cool. But his had like way more games, a lot more doubles. But there was a couple games on his that I didn't have, and I was like, well, damn, I'm gonna play these. So I played Robocop 2 arcade on that. It was a really weird setup because it was structured like a beat 'em up. Robocop doesn't beat shit up; he shoots everything. So it was like a shooting beat 'em up. If an enemy would get too close to you, he'd throw in a quick jab or like body slam them. But from the most part,
because we all know Robocop body slams people all the time. That's his signature move. I mean, come on.
Right.
No one's ever gotten close enough to him because he'll body slam a bitch.
The Robo Slam.
I swear, he'll body slam a bitch. It was a lot of fun.
Did he punch anybody with his little spiked knuckle thing?
No, I wanted to. But yeah, it was pretty cool. As long as most arcade games, but it was pretty enjoyable. My sons kind of dropped in and out playing it, so there was like 2 Robocops for a bit, but yeah, they'd walk away after like one level. And
sure, it's not based on that old TV movie Robocop, where there was the purple Robocop.
It was like light silver Robocop and like dark gray Robocop. Like maybe I was playing Robocop from like the reboot movie.
What was that called? I think it was called Dark Justice. It was a Canadian like miniseries of Robocop that was like 4 parts.
They had a TV series for a bit.
And then there was like a miniseries they made in Canada, and another guy became a second Robocop, and he was like purple.
Oh wow! I've never seen
I didn't even know that. Man,
you know, like in Robocop 2, his outfit, like when you would look at it in certain light, the blue would change like different colors.
Yeah,
it was like that, but he would turn purple.
Oh,
huh.
I gotta pay attention to more of my Canadian history. I guess I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
Then right after, I thought I was about to play some crazy arcade game I'd never heard of, Predator 2. I was like, Predator 2 had an arcade game? And that's when I realized that this thing had a bunch of Genesis games loaded on it. So I was actually playing the Genesis version of Predator 2. And it's actually the best way to play that game.
Is it arcade stick?
Yeah, because if you ever played Predator 2 on the Genesis, that like it's got like a wonky isometric view.
Yeah, the isometric thing.
And getting shit to line up, because like the only way you'll face away and shoot is you have to hold down the fire button. And with the arcade, it was like built for arcade. Like they made that game to be put on an arcade stick, because I think it must have been intended to be an arcade game at first. Because I played that game and I don't think I've gotten very far in it ever before.
It is pretty tough.
Maybe like the 3rd level, 4th level. There's only 6 altogether, and they're not really too bad. It's more one of those like, don't try to kill every enemy. Just kind of like keep moving, and you'll be fine. Because all you got to do is you're running around, and you got to save these hostages that all the gang members are keeping before the Predator kills them. Because like you'll know when you're close to one, because all of a sudden you'll just see the three red dots, and sometimes you'll see the Predator over his shoulder. You'll see him like aiming, and you gotta save the hostages before he kills them. And I think you're allowed like 8 or 10 or something to lose. And I didn't realize like that was a thing, because I was just like too into the action when I first started playing it. Then all of a sudden I'd be like walking towards the edge of the screen. All of a sudden I'd hear, "Brah!" And like an arm and a leg would fly, and I'm like, oh. And then I like restarted it, and I was like, okay.
When you get killed by the Predator, your eyeball comes up to the screen and shit.
Yeah, like once I figured out like this is what you're supposed to do. It was a pretty easy game, but then you get the last level. You're on the Predator ship, and the entire population of Predators is on the ship. There's hundreds of Predators everywhere you go, and like it's like some of them are just like guys walking around, and they'll like shoot at you like the gang members would on the rest of the game. And then you'll meet like the Predator that you meet a couple times in the other levels, where he's like shooting nets and throwing the glaive thing at you, the blade, and then his spears and shit. But like you pick up all these power ups and you can actually use them against them. And then you get to the end and you fight like the alpha predator or something. He's like 3 times the size of any of these other guys.
Oh shoot!
And then, yeah, he's actually not that hard either. But it's just getting through that ship. The ship was I used up all my goodwill of like lives I'd accumulated in that ship because just everything's attacking you constantly.
With their predator dogs?
It's it's a labyrinth though. So I'm like, luckily it like does an arrow like, oh, there's one this way if you're getting close, so you can kind of track them down pretty fast. But yeah, all in all, I was glad to finally put that one to bed. I don't think I'd ever be able to beat that one with just a controller. So
Was there a little kid running around with a giant predator mask on?
no, that's the predator. How bad. Then I finally went through Doom Eternal, Ancient Gods Part 2. All I've been hearing is how brutally hard it is and all this. And like I felt a little bit, like not playing Doom for a bit and then going back into that frantic Doom action.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get acclimated to it again. So I found it a bit of like a bit of a struggle when I did the first part. And also I got like I got a shitty checkpoint where I almost had to restart it. Or like checkpointed when I was going down a hall and I had like 1 shot left of any of my guns. And there was like huge enemies attacking me, and I found a way to make that happen. And this one, exactly what you'd expect, just as brutal. You go to, I don't know, I can't remember what they call it, but it's like the capital of hell. And you go there and there's like an end game moment when you get there, and all of a sudden all these like Earth ships come through, and it's just like the final hell battle. And it wasn't so much challenging as it was like more the in-your-face enemies all the time, like the ones that slash you, and a lot of the gimmicky guys, that you got to use the one gun to zap their shield off, and then they get they're haunted by the ghosts, so you got to pull the ghost out of them, kill the ghost, and like all this shit. Like the guys that are just a pain in the ass, you got to bring their shield down, and you got to blow up the guy's like hover thing before he regenerates his shield. Just all that stuff, and it got really kind of tiresome doing that. It just felt like I was just swapping weapons to do that constantly. Especially more towards like the later part. The most pain in the ass enemy I'd say from the main game was the Marauders. There's a part where there's these buffing. There's like these screamer zombies that when they scream, they buff everybody else. And you got 2 Marauders and these screaming guys. Like, pretty sure they infinitely spawn because I tried going out of my way to just kill them, and I just kept finding more. And yeah, you got 2 Marauders on you just constantly. And I'm like, the only way I could figure to do it was you get this hammer that you hammer the ground with, and it stuns everything. And then I just used the BFG. And I was like, that's the only way I can beat this. I never really used the BFG, I don't think, in the entire game. But that one part, I was like, to hell with this. Yeah, so there's some... Like, I even, dropped the difficulty down on this one, expecting it to be super hard. And even on, I think it was just normal. I was like, man, this is punishing. So...
That's kind of the point.
Yeah, definitely. But then you get to the end guy. He looks like General Zod from Man of Steel, but he's got like a giant.
I will find him.
And he's like a super marauder. He brings out like the wolves, like the Marauders bring out and shit. And he's actually not too bad. He's got like 5 or 6 phases to him where he basically does the same stuff, just more harder to dodge it and all that kind of stuff without really wrecking too much. But
how many times did he say, "Where's the codex"?
No, yeah. But it was my favorite part was that I don't know where I got the skin. Maybe it's just from having the collector's edition, but
is it the Conan looking thing that you had?
There's a barbarian skin. So I'm like, I'm Conan in this shit. And so I was just Conan in hell. And
I was wondering why the pictures you took for your Beat It post had him looking like Conan.
I am Conan. Yeah, I was all about that. It was pretty cool. The only part I wish I'd turned it off before the end cutscene, because it shows some pretty cool stuff that I don't want to spoil. But it was I was like, all right, so I had to watch it again on YouTube.
With him in a loincloth.
Well, there's a part where he does something, and it does the motions of him taking something up, but in the Conan thing, he's not wearing that. so like it just looked kind of dumb. So I was like, all right. But yeah, it was pretty cool. A good way to end it. I don't know how they're gonna keep going. Like it kind of leaves it a little bit open, but for the most part, you're like,
Doom 3.
But what's gonna happen now? Anyway, so that was a good way to leave it. And then I kept on going with Uncharted. I beat Lost Legacy. And honestly, that's got 2 characters I didn't really care for from the main series. What's Chloe or whatever her name is?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that starts with an
bounty.
M.
That bounty hunter.
Yeah, the bounty hunter chick from. And honestly, I loved the game. Actually, it was really cool.
That was one where I started playing it, and I was like, "Oh, this is just kind of like, let's explore these little huts or whatever." And then all of a sudden, it turns into an Uncharted game later.
Yeah, honestly, it's got some of the nicest looking like tombs and vistas of the series. And these 2 characters, like I didn't care for, like I said in the main game, I ended up really like, oh, I like them more now.
Yeah.
Like I hated the one chick from Uncharted 4 because she was just always fucking you over and getting in your business, but she was pretty good in this one.
I beat that in one sitting.
Yeah, I think
I streamed it. I started streaming it at like 5 in the afternoon, and I didn't beat it until like 4 in the morning the next day. I streamed the whole thing.
I would have, I think, too, because it's not that long. But I beat the Doom Eternal DLC. Then I started that the one night at work, and then the next night at work, I beat it. And then it was this. I think I beat it like 3 hours before my shift was over. I was like, oh man, what else do I got to play? So yeah, that's as far as I got. Sorry, I'm super long winded, but yeah, that's all the shit I've been playing since the last episode.
Nice.
So yeah, I've turned around on the Uncharted series. I like it more than I thought. So
Been
good.
watching anything?
Watching anything? Oh, I've been watching several things actually. Mostly Masters of the Universe Revelation and Transformers Kingdom. Besides that, just some rando other crap. But you've watched these as well.
I have.
And Lightsaber Samurai, what's your thoughts on both these franchises?
Like I said, He-Man, it was more of my brother's thing, but I gotta say, like, I am excited. I haven't got around to watching it on Netflix yet. I just started Yasuke the other day, so I want to go through that first. And of course, and I've been watching a lot of like some anime stuff, watching a lot of Hunter x Hunter as well. And I got this other. I'll grab it real fast.
All right.
There's this. So a few weeks ago, I was doing a live stream from one of the local video game stores in town, and she gave me this as a gift. One of my students told me this was really good, and I don't know. The name is, it says Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, like toilet bound. Like, what is that? But I think it's got to do with like some ghosts and some other stuff. It's supposed
Someone's
to
got to go boom boom.
Right. I was like, what is that about? But I think it's got to do with ghosts or something. So I'll have to peep that in a little bit, of course. And then Netflix, we've been waiting. My girlfriend and I, because starting tomorrow, they put the rest of the episodes of Hunter x Hunter on Netflix. So that's why I've just been watching a little anime lately.
Awesome.
So
I'm really behind on any anime. Like my wife and I like watching anime together. I don't really watch that much on my own, but she'll like, if she sees one that she thinks I like, she'll like add it to the watch list. And I see that we've got quite a few that she's like, but we've been working like complete opposite shifts. Like I come home and I come home and drive her to work,
Man.
kind of thing. So it's been tough to be able to watch anything. We just finally we finished. I gave up on her watching Loki with me. We watched the first episode, and then I think the 4th episode was about to come out. I was like, you snooze, you lose. And I caught up, and I just kept going with it. And then I finally got to sit and get her to watch it. And she's like, I thought she was going to be like, no, never mind then if you've already watched it. But I was like, no, I'll watch it again. Because usually if I watch something without her, she's like, nah. Like she refuses to even start The Mandalorian because I watched it without her.
Aw. She's missing out.
Yeah, so every time I'm like,
Grogu and Ahsoka.
I was like, literally any time I will rewatch Mandalorian. I'll watch it for a fifth time. I don't care.
Yeah, for sure.
But she's like, no, I'm good. So yeah, so I couldn't tell her that I watched Black Widow without her either.
Oh shit!
So, because we weren't paying that premium price for it, but
that's why Scarlett Johansson's suing Disney.
Yeah, a coworker of mine had bought it, so he just like signed in at work and let me watch it. So I was just like, all right, well, I'm still gonna buy it on Blu-ray when it comes out. But that's what our plan was. I was like, why would I pay $35 for it when if I wait like 2 months, I can just buy it for like $25 and own it forever, physical copy.
Right.
So that's how we're doing that. Yeah. Anything else you guys have been watching before we get into our?
I watched a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I can't there's some other stuff. I've been watching a lot of Netflix stuff lately.
Yeah, me too.
That show Beastars, that show is crazy.
Beastars, what's that all about?
That's so it takes place in the society of like a bunch of like anthropomorphic creatures, like all kinds of different animals, and it's split up. Society is kind of split up between herbivores and carnivores, and it's basically a coming of age story of like a young wolf in high school, and he's at this high school that's got carnivores and herbivores, and it starts out one of the herbivores has been devoured by one of their students and they don't know who it is, and then he almost devours like a little bunny rabbit, and then ended up he ends up falling in love with her later. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's basically like if you're a furry, like you're definitely that's what it meant. It sounds like
the adult version of Zootopia.
It is. Yeah,
it sounds like an adult Zootopia.
It's an adult Zootopia. Like, it's wild. It's good though. Like I like the storyline. The animation is done really well, but yeah, like it's got a lot of like heavy like sexual themes. Like it's wild. Like,
so don't watch it with my kids that like anime.
Do not watch it.
Thanks for
do not watch it with your children.
As long as you play the Bad Touch by Bloodhound Gang while you're watching it.
Man,
we're good. Oh, that's cool. Good. Chris, what's your list? So I go along on the Just Beats, and Chris usually goes along on movies.
I'm not going to do it this time. I watched all 3 of the Fear Street movies on Netflix.
Yeah, you just watched, I think, the first one on our last episode.
Yeah, so I watched the second one, which I liked more than the first, and the second one's in the 70s, and it's like a traditional slasher movie at like a camp.
Nice.
But it has modern sensibilities, and I really, really liked it. It's really fun. And then the third one is a prequel that goes back to 1666, and it's like an origin story, all the stuff that's happening in the other 2 movies. But they don't tell you that the last half of the movie is going back to 1994, where the first movie took place, to like cap everything off. And it ended up being pretty cool. It sounds like they're actually going to keep going with the series because it's considered to be really good. Like it's real popular, and it got good reviews, so they're going to keep going with it from what it sounds like.
Well, I was stoked when I heard they were coming out because I read a couple of the Fear Street books because they were kind of like the next step up from Goosebumps as far as their.
I never knew anything about it. Like, I never heard of Fear Street at all.
I remember that.
Goosebumps was for like the kids and tweens and whatever.
Yeah,
and then like Fear Street was like the teen and young adult stuff. Yeah. And I remember kind of like I had a shit ton of the Goosebumps, and then I kind of graduated to those, and I read probably 2 or 3. And I thought they were pretty good. And yeah,
well, these are hard R, dude.
Yeah, I really meant to check them out before this episode, but like I said, my work's been kicking my ass. I mean, thankfully it's been a lot of overnight, so I've been able to still keep up with the games and bring the PS4 and stuff, and it's not a big deal. But yeah, I've fallen definitely behind on what I've been meaning to watch. But there's some things I'll make time.
So yeah,
what did you check out after Fear Street?
I saw Black Widow. Obviously, went and saw that in the theater with a couple of friends, and I really, really liked that one.
Sweet, yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
it was way better than I was
surprised.
expecting.
Yeah, I was expecting it to just kind of be like a bunch of fan servicey, crap, and no, it actually sets up a lot of stuff that's probably going to happen in Phase 4.
I honestly just thought it was going to be like her backstory.
Yeah,
and that was it. But I'm like, she needs it because she's like the only character I can think of in the MCU who's just kind of showed up. Yeah, she's badass.
You know her, but you only know her in the modern day. Yeah,
she's a spy, and that's it. They don't really go into it at all. Yeah. Everyone else gets a whole movie to set up. She's already dead, and then finally gets her origin movie.
Yeah.
Like, spoilers. Sorry if you haven't seen Endgame, but it's like, you're like, yeah, like it took her, but she's got to be in at least like 6 or 8 movies by now.
Yeah.
And then they finally give her own movie. So that's better late than never. And yeah, it was really,
yeah, I
really
enjoyed
good.
it. I really like Florence Pugh as was it White Widow or whatever she's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I can't wait to see what they do with her in the movies, especially if that little stinger they did at the end, the little post credit scene.
Yeah, I can't remember what her actual name is. Yeah, but yeah, basically her sister.
Yeah.
And they kind of wasted Taskmaster, but it made sense for the movie. But yeah.
Well, don't forget, it's not over with that character either.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But this feels pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah. And then I've been meaning to go and see Quiet Place 2 since it came out. I just never can get away.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you even saying on the Retro Rivals stream, you're like, I'm going to see that like tomorrow or something.
And it just never seems to happen. And then all of a sudden it's streaming on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, I think it's on.
So I watched it on Paramount.
I think it's on Prime in Canada, if I remember correctly.
So I watched it on Paramount Plus. It's fantastic. I loved it. It's like watching a Last of Us movie.
Yeah, I was actually already considering, because when I saw it show up, I was considering watching the first and second one because I never watched the first one, but I always heard good stuff.
The first one's good. I think the second one's better.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah,
it's always good when a sequel is better than the first one. That's not
because the whole thing with the deaf daughter in the movie going off with the next door neighbor character. I cannot remember the actor's name. I can never remember his name. Cillian Murphy.
Okay.
From 28 Days Later. The two of them kind of go off and do their own little thing, and it turns into like Last of Us kind of situation. It's really kind of cool the way they do it.
Gillian, hopefully you left enough room for my fists, because I'm going to have 2 stomach and break your goddamn spine.
Break your goddamn spine. Anyway, but it was fantastic, and they leave it open for another one. So there's obviously going to be a part 3. Plus, the movie's made like $300 million, so of course they're going to make another one.
That's
but
cool.
yeah, but that I saw
later.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Then I watched Outside the Wire, which is a Netflix movie with Anthony Mackie in it, where he's like a cyborg.
Oh, okay, yeah. I remember.
And I love Anthony Mackie. I think he's a great actor, but this movie, I hated it.
You can even say it.
It's just like he's way better than the stuff they have him doing in that movie. It kind of just plot twists that make no sense and stuff, and it was just dumb.
That's unfortunate. I hate when the actor's wasted on the material.
Yeah. It's just he's so much better than that. And then I watched
sometimes you get like a good actor who'll elevate crappy material, like it'll be like a laughable premise, but then you're like, somehow he makes it like, oh yeah, I believe this is happening.
I mean, don't get me wrong, Anthony Mackie's good in the movie. It's just the movie he's in, I thought was just kind of
right.
Yeah. But then I watched Gunpowder Milkshake.
Okay, I think I remember you.
It's got the actress who plays Nebula in the Marvel movies. In the Guardians movies, she's in it, and she's like an assassin,
Karen
and it's
Gillan
trying,
Karen Gillan or whatever.
Karen Gillan, yeah, I think she's freaking adorable.
Yeah.
But it's like they're trying way too hard to do this whole John Wick thing.
Oh yeah,
like try to create like this John Wick world, and it's like none of it works, and it's just boring, and like it's. You ever watch a movie that where you feel that it thinks it's cleverer than it actually is, and that's basically what Gunpowder Milkshake is.
Okay.
But I mean, it looks great, and the action scenes are really cool. There's a whole slow motion, unbroken shot in a diner that takes place toward the end of the movie, and it's just I don't know how they choreographed it, but they did, and it looks fantastic. But cool. It was just cheesy and.
That's what I was afraid of. Like I don't know if either of you saw Mr. Nobody. It came out a while back, and that seemed like kind of like a discount Johon Wick type movie.
Oh, the one with the guy from
good
Better Call Saul guy.
Yeah.
Nobody. Yeah. I never got a chance to see it. I wanted to, but it kind of came and went so quick.
Huh.
Then I watched this flaming piece of shit called Cosmic Sin. It's got Bruce Willis. It's got Bruce Willis in it.
Oh, okay.
And I was just kind of like, oh, okay, Bruce Willis can't be that bad yet.
Yeah, you can give it a shot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
I think
it looks cheaper than a Sci-Fi Channel movie.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I've got a feeling that Bruce Willis
He's turning into Nicolas Cage. He's just
Yeah, I
I'll
was
do
gonna say,
anything.
He's just come. He must have some debt that people don't know.
Yeah,
about.
he's.
Well,
Yeah, he's like,
I feel like he
Red Food.
alienated a lot of people too. Like a lot of people say they don't like working with him. Like,
Yeah,
Kevin Smith. Yeah,
Kevin
he said
Smith's
it
like,
broke
he's
it.
a
He said
nightmare.
it broke his heart.
Yeah,
yeah,
But yeah, that was a piece of crap science fiction movie. It's just badly made, badly acted. Even his acting in it, he's just kind of like, you can tell there's this part where he's talking to an actor who I've never heard of before. It's like some no-namer. And the look on Bruce Willis's face when he's talking to this guy is, who the fuck are you and why are you talking to me?
we did talk to the Bruce Willis.
Yeah, it's just kind of like you can tell he does not want to be there. I was laughing like it's unintentionally funny. It's so bad.
That's a shame. It's always a shame to see someone who was like once great and you could almost like go like, oh, I better see that guy's in it. He's only in good movies.
Well, I've learned my lesson.
Yeah.
I will not watch another Bruce Willis movie.
Like Nicolas Cage, like back in the day, for a while there, he was on.
He's starting to pick some cool stuff now.
But
like
for a while, he was on
yeah.
he was on a streak back in the day for a bit
Yeah.
too, where I'd be like, I don't really like him, but he's usually in good movies, and I'd like. There was a couple movies I checked out just because he was in it. Like, I don't know, I don't even know what this is about.
Well, he'd be in like stuff like the Wicker Man remake and that kind of crap, and I was like, okay, I'm done with him. And then I watched, what was it?
The bees scene is just worth it.
Oh God,
And
my
it's-
eyes! Where are my eyes? No! Not gonna bring back your goddamn money. But what was that movie he did? Not God of War, Lord of War.
Oh yeah.
And I watched that and I was like, that's Nicolas Cage. I remember. He's awesome. And then he goes back and does a bunch of crap. Like, was it Bangkok Dangerous?
Bangkok
Like, no.
Dangerous. Oh my god.
Like, no.
They pushed that. I remember when that came out. They tried to push that movie so hard.
Yeah.
I knew that movie was gonna be trash.
Oh, yeah. That was so bad.
Yeah,
But I expect more from Bruce Willis, but yeah, I guess not. And then they did, at the theater by me, they did a one-night only sneak preview of the new Dune movie.
What you think?
They showed the first 10 minutes, and then they showed like a harvester rescue scene that the director was talking before they showed it. He's like, this is my favorite scene in the movie, and I'm going to show it to you. And they showed that. It was another 10 minutes, and then they did like an interview with Hans Zimmer, who composed the music, and it looks really good.
Yeah. I saw the trailer. I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. I mean, the stuff that they showed, it was right. I mean, a lot of people complain about the 80s movie, but the stuff that was in the 80s movie is in this movie too. It's done better.
Right.
And it wasn't that supposed to be out for a while now? Because
that was supposed to come out last summer.
Okay, I was gonna say it makes sense because it's fucking up all these toy lines that have been coming out.
Yeah, the toys have been out for almost a year.
I've been noticing more and more things like going on clearance before the movie's even out because they forecasted, the movie will be out here. Like the Shang-Chi toys are all out and starting to go on clearance already, and that hasn't been out. The Black Widow stuff was out like in the spring or maybe
I was at that Target the other day, and they had all the Dune toys still out. Nobody's touched them.
Yeah, because nobody's seen the movie. Like, I don't know. I don't even know why would I buy this. Like,
but it looks pretty fantastic. It's going to be loud. I'll tell you that. It is a loud movie, but
that's cool.
It looks pretty awesome. Cool. But that was pretty much it for stuff other than the TV shows that we're going to talk about.
Absolutely. Well, I don't think we talked about the end of Loki, so we already kind of mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think about the end of Loki?
I want more.
Did you watch it, Lightsaber Samurai?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, okay. Well, we won't talk too.
We won't spoil nothing, but I want more. I want more.
Yeah.
We're gonna get more. We're gonna get it.
Like
we're gonna get it.
Like my friend, that I know, he loves the MCU stuff. Like he actually chronologically watched everything, including all the MCU shows and everything.
Oh wow.
Like all together, he had like the master list, watched everything. So I was all like, yes, what'd you think about Loki? He's like, oh man, I haven't watched that. Actually, I haven't watched Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I was like,
oh,
okay. I was like, Falcon and the Winter Soldier was okay. It was like its own self-contained story. I was like, I don't feel like if you skip that.
Other than the fact that, someone becoming Captain America in the end.
as far as the MCU as a whole is concerned, you're not missing too much. You're missing that one, like, you're missing closure and you're missing building of characters, which is good. But there's no like, oh my god, if I hadn't watched this, the next
Right.
end credit scene, I would have been like, "What the hell's going on?" But like Loki is like, "Yeah, you got to see
It
this."
changes everything.
If you intend to see anything going forward in the MCU, like WandaVision and Loki are like must sees. I definitely think you should watch Falcon and Winter Soldier. Although I was only kind of lukewarm on it, I still think it's worth a watch for sure. But yeah,
Right.
I definitely would rank.
Oh, come on. That action scene in that first episode was like right out of any movie.
Yeah, I would rank WandaVision, Loki, Falcon, Winter Soldier as far as those 3 shows so far. I'm really looking forward to What If coming out. It looks phenomenal, and I was always a big fan of the What If comics.
It's officially the last thing that Chadwick Boseman did before he died.
Yeah, so
is What If.
It's What If T'Challa was actually Star-Lord or whatever? What if he was
Something
the kid
like that,
yeah, what if he was the kid that was picked up instead of Peter Quill?
Yeah.
So yeah, it looks really cool. Like I always loved picking up I still do like picking up the What If comics.
I still have the one from the 80s that I had where it was what if Wolverine never got the adamantium skeleton.
Yeah, like
the cover is him like melted and you see his like skeleton underneath like trying to fight somebody.
Yeah, there's some really good ones. Some really bad ones too, but it's just it's always like the most minor thing, but the story goes like all the way in on it.
Weird tangent, yeah.
Like what if Aunt May had died instead of Uncle Ben, and then like somehow like Peter's the bad guy instead or something? I don't know. It's just total flip of the script. So anyway, I'm looking forward to those figures coming out too because there's some pretty cool looking ones. And so we'll start off with Masters of the Universe Revelation. Only 5 of the 10 episodes for season 1 are out. I don't know how I feel about that. I kind of think they should have. I think they should have released the 10 altogether because I don't want to say it, but it really feels like one of the most divided things in recent memory. Like there's always going to be division in just about anything that comes out, especially when it plays off nostalgia.
Right.
But it's never been so line in the sand. I love it. I hate it. I've never seen one person be like, it was okay.
Yeah.
People are like, this is amazing. What the hell did they do to my childhood? That's like the only like.
It's kind of crazy the butthurt that I've seen for it online.
Yeah, and I really think if they just released the first 10 episodes together, it would have actually prevented a lot of that. Without going into too much detail, I feel like, obviously you're getting half the story.
Yeah.
And I've never enjoyed He-Man as much as I do this. Like we've talked about it before. I've always liked He-Man, but I was never like huge into it. I didn't have a lot of the toys. I didn't have, I would catch it once in a while. I was born a little bit too late. It wasn't on all the time anymore. I was born when it was like, when I was little, it was Ghostbusters, Ninja Turtles, Transformers, that kind of stuff.
My cartoon back then was Thundercats.
Oh God, yeah. Thundercats and Silverhawks.
Yeah.
Silverhawks.
So that being said, like I've always liked it. I even bought the box set. It's just really, it's not something I can watch more than like a couple episodes in a row. It just gets kind of, it's really two-dimensional. You're just like, it's kind of laughable. Like like there's cool characters and stuff, but it all comes down to the same thing. Like no one's really got any depth to them.
Yeah.
Like He-Man's got probably the most depth because it's the whole story centers around him. And I think other people's problem is that in Revelations, the side characters matter as much as He-Man. Like everyone's got their own story. Everyone's like so much more fleshed out. They feel like they matter more than being someone for He-Man to save or someone to jump in last minute and here, He-Man, I got this for you. Like everything seems like it actually is going somewhere or matters. And characters that have barely anything to do in the original story are like suddenly really important, and I really liked that. Like,
that's like what I said was that back in the day, like I hated Orko as a character. I couldn't stand Orko,
and
this show made me like him. Like I finally like him as a character.
Well, for one, his voice doesn't make your ears ring in this.
Yeah, my ears weren't bleeding.
I wasn't like, oh my god, like when he talked, because there was him, and I don't know if it's the same voice actor.
No,
that did him, and did what was the character in the original Transformers that had like a super high pitched voice?
Oh, Wheelie.
Wheelie, and I think it was the same one that did that Kremzeek, where it was just super high pitched, and every time they talked, you're like, okay, shut up, just move, let someone else talk, because it hurts my head every time this person talks. So it was like, first of all, they brought that in. I'm like, oh my god, I can stand his voice, and then like and
he's not super annoying,
and he has purpose. It's got the same like little bit of a feel. There's a lot of throwback to the 80s one. There's a lot of callback. Like they own up to some things being like it's cheesy art. They're still in there.
Yeah, but it's done better.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it, and I realized that it's half the story, and I think they're building into something really good. So
yeah, that's Kevin Smith, and I didn't know Kevin Smith had it in him.
Yeah, I'm really hit and miss on Kevin Smith, honestly. Like, I don't ever go all in on someone unless like they're have a flawless repertoire. They're like, there's movies of his I really like. There's movies of his I'm like, what the hell is this?
Yeah,
right.
Yoga hosers.
Yeah, I'm not all the way one way or the other on him. He's a really cool guy. I met him in Orlando at the airport and just didn't bother him though.
Yeah,
he gave me the respect nod, like, thanks, man. Like,
he was like, can you please explain yoga hosers to me? Please explain it.
Like, give me a look like, okay, this guy knows who I am. He knows his audience. And I just nodded at him. He goes, gave me like a thanks, man. Like, we got somewhere to be. It's like 5 a.m. So thanks for not bugging me. But yeah, like, pretty cool guy. But like, I'm not so blinded by being a fan of his that like I would say I like it just because he's attached to it. Mm-hmm. And I'm not as big of a He-Man guy that I would be like, I would just blindly love this. And I think this made me more of a He-Man fan for sure. So that's where I stand. Is that pretty much how you feel too, Chris?
Yeah, I was born way earlier than you, so like He-Man was like my
a couple days. Like a couple days.
Yeah, okay.
Young guys.
But like that was like one of my things when I was a kid was I was really into Masters of the Universe. I saw the live action movie. I made my parents drag me.
I remember the movie. Yeah,
they dragged me to that. They even dragged me to the animated movie. Like I made them take me to see the animated movie, The Secret of the Sword, with that shitty ass disco song at the start. So I can see She-Ra steal his thunder and all that kind of stuff. But I watch it now, the old show, and it makes me cringe. Like, I just can't do it. I like most of the cartoons I liked when I was a kid. Like, I've tried watching Transformers, I've tried watching Thundercats, I've tried watching Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe. I can't watch any of them anymore. They just make me cringe. And so when I watched the He-Man show, I was just kind of like, it's Kevin Smith, I'll watch it. I'm going to see what he did with it. And like, I went through it all in one shot.
Yeah, I expected to just be a big member berries show. Mm-hmm. Like, remember you liked this? Remember? Yeah. Like, but it was actually like, wow, they've
like Force Awakens.
It's got depth to it, which was really
all the characters are written so well, and you end up liking the one. Like I said, I didn't like Orko at all. I like him now.
Yeah, it honestly seemed like probably how people saw it in the 80s as a kid. Like, when you're a kid, you don't realize this doesn't have much depth. It's just
these characters are just kind of these characters are just kind of there.
Yeah,
but the thing is, they weren't trying to sell toys with this. They were trying to tell a story.
But there are toys you can buy.
There are toys, but but that's the thing is like there's stuff for the little kids to like. There's all the flash and the action and stuff that the kids will like. But like then there's the character development and the story and the twists and stuff like that. And that's the stuff that the adults will like. Because I didn't think I would like it at all. I thought it was going to suck. I'm like, it's just going to be watching He-Man run from left to right like he did all the time in the old show, and then punching somebody once and then game over.
Yeah,
but no, it's like he did things with it, which is why I like it when they do new things with like an old property like that.
Yeah, I hate when they just play it safe and give you exactly what you're expecting, because then you're like,
he took risks with it. And
I could have just lived in my mind. It could have just lived in my mind.
And of course, Mark Hamill as Skeletor, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like instead of going like, "Yeah, Beast Man, you boob."
I was pretty stoked to find out that Sarah Michelle Gellar is playing Tila too.
Yeah, I didn't know how I'd feel about that either, but I thought she was really good.
I didn't think her voice really linked up until the second or third episode. My wife was like, "I like everyone else's voice," but she's like, "I don't like Tila's." So it's up in the air. I like Sarah Michelle Gellar as it is, but like, yeah, it seemed a little out of place, but not as out of place as the next show, Transformers Kingdom. So we've been big fans. We've been raving about the Netflix Transformers trilogy as we've watched it through Siege and Earthrise. And then Kingdom comes along, and it's, oh my god, the Beast Wars characters are in it now. And it's supposed to be this epic, no way crossover that we're like, I don't know. It honestly felt like I like Beast Wars. Whenever I think of Transformers, that's not what I think of, though. Right. It would have been cool if they did a separate...
Once I heard that they called the main character Optimus Primal, I checked out.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
I was like, no! No!
And honestly, they turned like probably my favorite character into a gorilla. I'm like, I'm not into... Why is it that Megatron's a Tyrannosaurus Rex? Can he at least turn into a Stegosaurus?
A T-Rex head as a hand.
Yeah.
And it's alive, and it still moves and looks around and stuff. It's dumb.
Yeah, so I wasn't really... I watched it when it was on. I don't really have much nostalgia for it. I would have been probably excited to see if they did like a separate show. But honestly, the inclusion of them in this third and final act or whatever of their trilogy, it honestly felt like they derailed the whole story they had going up to this point.
It took away from the characters that they've been building up for the last 2 seasons.
And it honestly felt like, I'm like, I think this is here just to sell toys. Because I was like, they just were like, or the guy who was directing was like, but I want to do something with Beast Wars. And they're like, you get these 3 seasons, man.
Right.
They're gonna make a live action Beast Wars movie next. Let's put him in here.
Yeah, so it was kind of cool at points to see like, oh man, look how they're interacting with the the G1 versions of themselves. And one thing I did like is the show kind of seemed to dog on them a bit, like oh, it's the true Prime, and it's not Optimus Prime. Well, it's Optimus Prime, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. And then Megatron being like, hey, stop using my name. Call yourself something else. And I was like,
nice.
That's right. And then, so as I mentioned, voice acting. The acting was good, but the voices that they chose for the characters were plain awful. They were distracting. They were distractingly off.
Yeah, the guy who did the voice for Optimus Primal was just kind of like,
I don't know. Yeah, it was just like, okay. And then Megatron sounds like he's like a teenager or something.
Yeah.
He's like, because there's Megatron.
I half expected him to say bro.
Hey, Megatron. I'm Megatron.
I did. The way he sounds so young, I just expected like half of his lines to end with bro.
Yeah, it was like you'd expect that voice out of like one of the small car Transformers, or like Rat Trap or something, like someone small. But he didn't have like, Megatron's always got a commanding deep voice, or his raspy voice in the original.
Yeah, or he's got to sound menacing at least.
Yeah, but you're like, oh, this guy just could be anybody.
Yeah.
So I wasn't feeling that. So that didn't help with the integration of the Beast Wars. And then I said, it felt like they were in the way, and they were kind of out of the way for the last 2 episodes. Like they're there, but they weren't like integral to the plot.
Yeah.
So the story kind of kept going from where it would have went, and I'm like, all right. And it was really good at the end, I thought.
But they kind of started introducing stuff from the animated Transformers movie from the 80s.
Yeah, so you got like 3 versions of Megatron in like the same episode. I'm like, this is cool.
Yeah.
If one of them sounded like Megatron, that'd be cooler too, though. But anyway, and then like all in all, like by the end, I enjoyed it. But like,
yeah, the last episode I thought really kind of set up some new places they can go because they did the whole Unicron thing.
Yeah, the Beast Wars would have been cooler if they were like kind of like that flashback like they did with Galvatron last season, where you're
Mhm.
like, whoa, that just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, like,
if
oh,
they
look,
did
there's
that,
Unicron and
that would've been-
Galvatron. What the fuck are they doing here?
Yeah, like that would have been cool, but like, yeah, it was just too distracting and kind of
Yeah.
just derailed the story. So I gotta say, I was pretty disappointed in the last season.
Mhm.
So that sucks. I mean, it's not going to stop me from buying the toys. I'm not going to buy any of the Beast Wars toys because that's how I save money. Is I just collect the.
Come on, you know you want a
vehicle-based
rat. You know you want a
Transformer.
rat trap. You know you want a rat trap.
No, I haven't bought any of them. So, I've been tempted to. I was actually pretty tempted to get the big purple T-Rex Megatron until I heard his ass. Then I'm like, nah, I'm good on that. Thanks for saving me a couple of dollars, Hasbro.
Dang.
So yeah, I was disappointed in them as characters, and then it was kind of cool to see some of them. Like there was moments that were cool with them in it, but it was just like, why are they even here? They could have had their own thing.
Right.
So yeah, I don't like in this instance. I don't like my chocolate, my peanut butter mixed together. Keep them separate. Like 2 separate shows was fine. I always thought they were the same characters, but apparently no. I always thought that was Optimus Prime turned into Optimus Primal, but apparently they've always been separate characters. So that was something kind of cool I didn't realize before. So I guess I didn't.
At what cost? At what cost?
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's my thoughts on that without really wrecking too much. We do a movie highlight and maybe some pickups?
Sure.
So you being our guest, Lightsaber Samurai, we had you pick out a movie. What are you going with?
Yeah, so the movie going with, and just going back to Volcano High here. So this is the movie. It's an action movie they originally released in Korea, and so when they adapted it for North America, of course they had to do like an English dub, and so they got the bright idea to use like a bunch of rap personalities, and like Andre 3000 of Outkast as the main protagonist. Snoop Dogg is the antagonist in this. You got Method Man in here. Redman's in here. Just a bunch of people.
Who's that
Who
on the
else?
right? Looks like
Tracy
Dave Chappelle.
Morgan.
Got most of the Wu-Tang Clan in it.
I was gonna say it looked like
Yeah,
Dave Chappelle
like-
for a second.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, so
We got the
yeah,
RZA,
so
the
Big
Jizza.
Boy, Snoop, Andre 3000, Tracy Morgan, Red and Meth is in here, and there's some other people in here too, like Carmen Electra, like I think.
Oh,
some other-
jeez.
just some people, popular personalities from like the turn of the century. And I remember this, like it used to air on MTV all the time. And this was a game that this was the game that I was thinking about for your video, Chris, when I was thinking about what movie would make a good video game, because it's like that high school, anime style story,
Yeah.
And this would be I think it'd be a really good like beat 'em up, like somewhere in the vein of like the Kunio-kun series or something like that.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. Like,
Yeah, it's a crazy movie. It's ridiculous. The voice acting, I don't think is very good though. Like,
I just
It
want to
didn't
see a
age
Korean
well.
guy talking with Snoop Dogg's voice. I need to see that.
it's what would you expect? That's pretty cool.
yeah, you have to watch. It's a must watch though. But yeah, it's bad in the best way possible. Like,
Well, hopefully I can find it streaming somewhere, or maybe I'll just see if I can buy a copy for cheap.
I
It's
had to
definitely-
try. I had to find the physical copy. I looked for it like streaming everywhere. Like, I haven't tried to you can find clips I think on YouTube, but you can't like really watch it on
Makes me-
YouTube.
Makes you wonder, because you said it
Or
was
like
on MTV.
Netflix.
Maybe they got it on Paramount Plus since they own MTV.
They might.
I should check to see if they got that.
Yeah, let me know, because I think I've got that too. So be checking that out. Yeah, awesome. Well, yeah, that's something I'm surprised that Chris hasn't even heard of that. So
I've heard of most things, but not
yeah,
that.
it's rare you talk about a movie and Chris is like, what?
Huh?
Yeah,
So it's a true hidden gem if Chris hasn't even heard of it.
for sure. And
Hey, I like pleasant surprises. I like surprises. So, any pickups?
pickups. Yeah, I got a few here. It's a fairly decent stack, so I'll try to go quick here. So this one here, where did I get this? At my local game shop. I just happened to see this PlayStation 1 game called Rascal.
Hell yeah!
It's an early 3D platformer. I don't know much about it, but the dude on the cover, he looks like, I don't know if you remember like the characters from like the old Burger King commercials. Like he looks like Kid Vid from like the Burger King ads like back in the day. And so
Yep.
like, yeah, this game came out. I think this game is 98, 99. Yeah, it's 98, but this kid, like, he looks so 93 in that. So I had
He's got that tude.
yeah, he's got like that 16-bit tude era like thing going on. I got a couple of games for the PSP, also at my local game store. So my local game store had these games loose for like super cheap, and the first one here is Wild Arms on the PSP, and this one's kind of like on the expensive side now. This is just a repro case. I just got the case, it was like $4, $8, something like that, and then the game itself, I think this was $19.99. And so it's going on eBay like just used for like 50, 60.
Jeez.
I'm like, let me scoop that. And then same thing with Valkyrie Profile Lenneth.
Yeah.
And this was, like the remake of the original Valkyrie Profile. And so, I had to grab that too because I lost my copy I had it for PS1 back in the day. And then when I started collecting, tried to reacquire it, but Valkyrie Profile is expensive now. Same thing. This was loose for like 22, something like that. And so then I just got a repro case. Not that like I'm trying to resell these in the future. I just wanted them to sit like uniform on my shelf. So
I need to go case hunting for a couple PSP games. I got a lot of good RPGs that I got just the UMD of, and it irks me.
I got lucky with Lenneth though. I found that at my local GameStop back when I started collecting in 2013. I got it for like $8.
And that's a sequel too. It's Valkyrie Pro. It starts with an S. I can't remember what it's called.
Is that Sin something?
Samira or something like that. Yeah. I can't remember. I've never played it, but it's something that I want to get now. But that's also like. Plus, it's broke $100, I think, at this point. So.
The PS2 game?
Yeah.
Yeah, Valkyrie Profile 2 something. I can't see from here.
It's like Silmaria or
something.
Like
it starts. I remember it starts with S. I can see the cover in my head, but I can't really remember it. A couple of PS3 titles. This one is, I guess, it's pretty uncommon. I just randomly saw that Bleach. Yeah. And so, what's it called? Soul Resurrection. And like I said, it's NIS America. NIS America to me is like the new Atlas. So I was telling people in like one of my more recent videos, like some of those game companies, there's a lot of them now, like NIS America and Arc System Works, Falcom, Marvelous, Idea Factory. There's a lot of them that bring over a lot of these, that localizes a lot of these Japanese games in relatively small quantities. So if you see one that looks interesting, like definitely grab it. And like this one's disappearing now. It's kind of hovering around the $55 mark or so. And like I said, Bleach was that's one of the big three in anime. So
I noticed. I think I was on your video where your top 5 ways to predict a game going up in value or whatever. What was the title of it? I can't remember. It was like predict
future rare games. I can't remember what
something like that. Yeah, future rare games.
But like that's one of the criteria. Like I said, I looked at the developer. I'm like, okay, NIS America, PlayStation 3, like it's an exclusive, like it's already trending for like $50-$60. I see it here right now for $30. Let me go ahead and grab it. And because it's only going up from here. Same thing with this. Found that I've been meaning to add the Ratchet and Clank trilogy too, so I found it. Facebook Marketplace, somebody was selling it for $5, and they had a lot of games, so like a lot. So I picked this, and then like I grabbed like Max Payne 3. Like when I see a game like that's desirable that I really want, I try to like grab a few games as well. Like so I don't want to be like, I just want that game right there, and then the person gets suspicious, like, why you want just that one? Like
let me go look this up on eBay.
Yeah, like let me check that out. Why is he so excited about the? Oh, I see. Like. Yeah, this isn't a super expensive game. I think it's sitting around the $30 mark, but it's starting to disappear. I'm starting to not see this anymore. And with everything surrounding Ratchet and Clank, the Ratchet and Clank trilogy on PS3 just shot up. I mean, it's hovering around 65 now. So a lot of the PlayStation 3 Ratchet and Clank games are super expensive. Sly Cooper, the Sly Cooper trilogy is also expensive. This is the only one that hasn't gone up yet, but it's going to. So I mean, I was like $5. Let me go ahead and scoop that up before I can't do it anymore, because I guarantee you in the next year or so that one is going to be hard to find as well.
Didn't they release those on the PS4 through limited run a little while back?
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
I think so.
And I think the racing game too.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jack Combat Racing.
And I'm fixing to kick my brother-in-law's ass because the most expensive Ratchet and Clank game for PS3 right now I
Into
had,
the Nexus.
and I lent it to him because my niece was really getting into Ratchet and Clank. Never got it back.
Wait,
I should just send him the bill.
Ratchet
Yeah.
and Clank
When I
games are like
reorder it.
jacking up in price now too.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
especially
Ratchet and
They were
Clank
one of the main culprits when the store was closing
when the
and
store was closing,
everything
yeah, those
skyrocketed.
went up that day.
How much is Into the Nexus worth now?
70.
I think I got it for like $4 at a store.
Yeah, so if you see another one for $4, Chris, send
Okay.
it to me.
I will.
There's a few oh,
Don't do
avalanche!
that. Don't do that.
Avalanche!
I think I lost one somewhere. Which one did I lose track of? Anyway,
It was like what,
Yeah,
Tools
like-
of Destruction and Into the Nexus and
yeah, tools. So I got the trilogy, of course. Like the trilogy, that was the first thing that went up in price. Like, and so that's hovering around 70. Into the Nexus, that one's the most expensive one right now.
I got All for One, Tools
All
of
for
Destruction, and the collection still.
Yeah, All for One is still pretty cheap. That one's like you can still find this one for like under $20.
I don't think I have that one.
Yeah, I got that for duty.
Future Tools of Destruction. People are trying to sell this one. They're trying to sell this one for like $40-$50, but there's too many copies running around right now. So you can still find this for like $15-$20 as well. I wouldn't pay more than $30 for it right now. Like I said, people on eBay is trying to jack it up, and then I lost the one that I don't know where it went. But the other one was Crack in Time, I think.
Yeah,
And that one's like 30, 35, somewhere in there right now. So
I might have
most
lent
of
them
them are
Crack in
still
Time
pretty
and
affordable.
yeah,
It's
Into
just,
the Nexus and Crack in Time. I think I might have lent them both to him. So yeah,
Dang.
I guess I did have all of them or most of them.
There's one more that didn't come out in America, I don't think. It's called Full Frontal Assault. And that one is like a dungeon tower style game.
Oh, okay.
And it's not that great, but it's not that expensive either. So if you want them all, that one. And then there's another one, I think, too, called A Quest for Booty. I think it's like a pirate theme or something like that. So
Yeah.
I like how they're always trying to do those like double entendre titles and stuff like
Right.
that.
Like
Like up your arsenal and stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah,
Size matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's for kids, but there's lots of
Right.
But not.
adults.
Yeah, they're for kids, but
Game.
kind of not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's for kids, but then when those kids grow up and play it again, they're like,
Like,
"What?
oh.
They'll go back and be like, wait, what? Like,
I gotta talk to my parents about letting me play this shit."
dude, like, yeah, I see that with like television shows all the time, like Full House. Like that's like the most wholesome show on television. But Bob Saget, man, he was a freak.
He's-
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw. There was a movie called The Aristocrats, which is about that. There's an old joke that I guess all comedians learn called The Aristocrats, and it's all about the setup is always the same. It's just where you go with it is what each comedian adds to it, and you can go dirty with it, you can go clean with it, whatever. In the movie, they asked Bob Saget what his version of it is, and every single swear word you could possibly imagine and a couple of new ones, he ends up finding a way to mix it into that. It is, I was like sitting there going like,
Great.
what? Where is the Bob Saget I know from television?
Yeah,
What is happening? It's that.
dude, that was like the first time I seen Robin Williams do stand up.
Oh God.
Yeah.
He is filthy.
I got in trouble. My parents walked in and caught me watching that. I didn't know it was going to be that hardcore. It was Robin Williams. So I'm like,
I thought it was gonna be some Patch Adams wholesome
I
humor.
just
Yeah. And then he got talking about eating somebody out, a woman out, and he's going like,
yeah.
Yeah, like
It was
and you know how
absurd.
hairy his arms were, so you know what he was talking
Oh
about.
my god! Yeah, he was out of control.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, Bob said he made a reference like that on the show, and it was like in one of the bloopers, like that they were playing. Who was Jesse on or Uncle Jesse, his girl?
John Stamos, Rebecca Romaine Stamos.
Yeah, I can't remember what his girl on the show was.
Aunt Becky.
Aunt Becky. She went upstairs to talk to DJ because DJ was going through some issue or whatever, and like Danny had tried to talk to her, but he's not a woman, so he couldn't get through to her or whatever. And so Aunt Becky went up there and gave her a pep talk and came back to report to Danny, that she's fine now type of thing, right? So she comes down and she's like she starts to deliver her line, and she starts to because I guess like a piece of hair flew in her mouth, and she's like sorry, can we cut? She's like, a piece of hair, and he was like, it's hair in your mouth, what were you doing up there?
Rough. Yeah, I remember how shocked I was the first time I caught a glimpse of his stand-up, and I was like,
yeah, he is filthy.
Yeah,
I'm like, to be fair though, this is funnier than him on telling jokes on America's Funniest
Funny.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he's out of his element on that show.
Right.
Oh my God, this is dad joke city. But what do you expect for the guy from Full House? And then you see him do an actual stand-up, you're like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's see.
What else
Going on here? On the original Xbox, I picked up this game, Constantine. I kind of remember this from back in the day.
Yeah, you just beat that, didn't you?
Yeah, I just beat that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So decent. It was like $10. I figured I'd go ahead and give it a shot and just go ahead and add it to the collection before. I don't expect that to go up in price or anything like that, but this one I do. And the Spider-Man games are also like crazy right now.
Oh yeah, because those get delisted.
They're much cheaper on the PS. They're much more expensive rather on the PS3. This one, like I said, this one I paid $36 for. $36.
I just finished collecting all those. Remember?
Yeah.
And I just slept on those. Like when they were coming, there was just so many of them. And this is the one I really wanted because it had the different Spider-Mans with the different play styles. And this was the one that I thought was the most interesting of the ones because they got this one. Web of Shadows also looked really good. And then there was a Spider-Man Edge of Time.
Edge of Time, yeah.
Yeah, Edge of Time is kind of like a follow-up to that because there's still like a couple different. I think there's Spider-Man 2099 is in it again, and but it's not as like in depth as that one is. That one was really cool.
Right.
When you go through it, you're like, Spider-Man Noir is like so different from any of that. Like the Vulture ate Uncle Ben in that storyline.
Oh wow!
Like what the fuck?
Ate him?
Ate it straight up. Ate his uncle. Yeah, ate him. Yeah, it's like a crazy like method cannibal looking thing in that.
Wow, wild.
And I think if I remember correctly, like his suit looked like a crazy like bondage vulture kind of.
Oh wow!
S&M vulture.
Like if Marilyn Manson like designed the vulture.
Right.
So as he's dive bombing somebody, he's like the beautiful people.
Yeah. Tim Burton meets and Marilyn Manson collaborated on the Noir universe. I think it's a really cool game. If you haven't checked it out yet, I definitely recommend it.
That is definitely in the backlog to play like in the near future because that was, like I said, that was the one I was most excited about. I may or may not get Web of Shadows. If I don't, that's cool, like because we got the Spider-Man on PS4, the Miles Morales. Those are fantastic games, so
absolutely
I can be okay like missing out on that one if I had to.
I would say definitely pick it up. It was a lot of fun, that one.
I want to get it, but I don't want to pay $80 for it.
So. Oh no, yeah.
No, if I see it, because I bought Web of Shadows out here for like $20. If I see it again, I'll pick it up and let you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, Miles Morales, I can't even delete off my hard drive because even though I've beaten it, and then my son and I have tag team beat it, he's only 5. Like he'll swing to the objective, he'll get in the fight, but when he's about to die, he's like, "All right, Dad, help!" Like I'm like, "Oh, cool, you got 1 hit left till you're dead."
Oh,
let me fight all these guys. So yeah, we tag team that game all the way through. But even though we've beat it, he's still like, "Dad, can I play the Miles game?" And he's just. Like earlier this evening, like I actually had to kick him out of the garage. He was playing it, so
nice.
Yeah, we love Spider-Man in this house big time.
Right on. Here's an interesting one. This one is based off Shonen Jump's Shaman King. And this is I didn't think much of this game at first because it's kind of like just another like tactical RPG, like strategy RPG. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like you move around on a grid type of thing. But then when you engage in combat, then it switches to like a 2D like fighting game. So like you'll move your character and then the other character will move to you and encounter, then it just switches and then you're just playing like this 2D fighting game, and then if you win it, you do the damage or whatever, if you win the round and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Like
that sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, like it's got a really cool story. The graphics on it are on point. So looking forward to finishing this one. And like I said, I ended
up selling that one.
Oh yeah,
I ended up selling that one.
Did you play that?
Yeah, I bought it for like $250 at a store.
Oh yeah,
and I was just like, oh, I got to clear out some of the games that I know I'm never going to play, and I was just like, I'll just get rid of that one, and I got rid of that and a whole bunch of other ones.
Damn.
Okay, yeah, it was pretty interesting though, and I hear they're rebooting Shaman King, so I have to see what that's about. Second last game.
I want to check that out.
Here's another one. I haven't played this one yet. Shining Force Exa on the PS2, and the Shining Force series. I hear a lot of people talk about it, and I just never played a Shining Force game.
I think that's the only one I don't have for the PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got Neo. I was gonna say that sounds different than the one I have. I was gonna say I think mine's Neo, and then I looked over. I can see it from here.
I got you.
Yeah, I don't know how many they put out. What, like 3 on that?
Yeah, I think there's like 3. I got 2 of them at when I went to Gen Con, and that's the only one I think I'm missing.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah, so it looks like it mixes, like it says on the back, it mixes tactical with real time. So it might do a Shaman King type of thing. Although it looks like here he's just kind of hacking and slashing, which is right up my alley. I love hack and slash games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where you rack up combos.
I've only really played the first 2 on Genesis. I have the newest one on the Switch. What's it called?
Is it Resistance or something? Or
it's got a bit of a different name, but it's part of the Shining Force series. I can't remember. Shining Resonance, I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's part of the series, but it.
I got the first letter right.
Yeah, I got it.
Forgot these 2. While I was out, I went to Missouri, and on the way back, there was this game store in Lawrence, Kansas. I stopped and picked these 2 up. This one is called SLAI on the PS2, and it stands for, what is it? Steel Lancer Arena International. And this is a cool game. I haven't played it yet. I know it's a cool game because it's based off this other game that I played on the Xbox. It was an Xbox exclusive, and then they brought the sequel out as a PlayStation exclusive. And it's really just like these games are like a cross between like Armored Core, just with a bunch of anime thrown in. Yeah. So you got the anime style characters and the storyline and all the dialogue and stuff. And of course, it's like, I mean, the heavy mech presence. You play in a future where there's a sport they call rumbling, where you fight your mechs, and so they fight over resources and money and stuff like that, just like most of the type of like futuristic mech games. And but yeah, the first one on the original Xbox was really good, and so I'm like, man, I remember reading up on it, and they said that game was the sequel, and I'm like, oh, well, they changed the name. I can't remember what the original game is called.
Yeah, I can't either. I remember seeing a video about it, and I'm like, oh, I've got that, because I've got that one. I actually got that from our buddy Musty Hobbit.
Yeah. Because I covered it now. I don't remember what it's called, so I can't pull it off the shelf. But I'll grab it here in a little bit. I'll take a look here, but yeah, anyway. So pick that up. Another one I had to pick up, and I think this one, Crazy Taxi 3, High Rollers.
Yeah.
And this is exclusive to the Xbox. And so this is the Crazy Taxi 3. This is the only place you can get it. And so this one might become rare in the future because of it. And so, yeah, I haven't played this one, but again, I like the Crazy Taxi series. And this one, they do a bunch of like just all new characters. Of course, it takes place in like a Las Vegas type of city, where the other ones was in like San Francisco or whatever. And so looking forward to playing this one. It's made by the same team and all of that good stuff. The Xbox, and that's one reason why I'm like so mad I missed out on the Dreamcast, because like the OG Xbox was like the Dreamcast 2.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like a lot of the innovations, like the 4 controller ports and the online play, and a lot of stuff like Xbox borrowed from the Dreamcast, and then it's almost like Dreamcast like partnered with like Xbox like to take down the PlayStation like as revenge for like like
Yeah, the
way it did,
Microsoft made the operating system that the Dreamcast uses.
yeah, and so. And yeah, like I said, and I didn't know any of that at the time. Again, I was just like, oh, it's PlayStation 2, which, whatever. But like, yeah, a lot of those like titles like were exclusive. And Sega put out a lot of good games. Like they were, just exclusive on the OG Xbox. And some of them did get ported over to PlayStation later. But yeah, there's a lot of them like that you can't get anywhere else. Last game I picked up, this one I was looking forward to, also on the OG Xbox, is Dino Crisis 3. And so
I need to pick that up at some point. I got 1 and 2.
And like I said, I got a good deal on this because it didn't have the manual.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't pay more than $20 for it.
Yeah, that's what I paid for, $20. I'm like, $20, I'll do that because I know this one is the weakest one in the series, so I didn't want to pay a lot for it, but I also like the franchise. So the only one I'm missing now is Dino Crisis on the Dreamcast, and then I'll have them all. I haven't got that Dino Stalker game, which is in the same universe, and I didn't realize that at first. Somebody told me that, and I'm like, oh, okay. I haven't played it yet, but it's like a light gun game on the PS2. And so so I'll have them all now. And once I get the Dreamcast version, then I'll have them all. So that's all I picked up. I think there's a couple other ones, but I've already put them on the shelf. So
yeah, that I always gotta remember, what have I grabbed since the last episode?
Right.
Yeah. So Chris, what do you got?
I got. This is, like I said, this is never all of it. This is just some of the highlights because I talked about these earlier tonight in my pickup stream on my channel.
Gotcha.
So I only grabbed a couple. Okay, so when it comes to like movies, I picked up a 4K of Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Nice.
One of my favorite movies. I can't wait to watch this in the higher def. But yeah, what if life was like a video game? I love it. I've read all the comic books and everything, so I had to pick that up. Also, video game, picked up the new Mortal Kombat on 4K.
I'll save us time for later. So did
I.
Well, not in 4K, but...
Well, I only bought this because you were like, oh, did you pick this up yet? I was like, son of a bitch. Making me spend money. That's why he's my enabler, brother. That's why.
We enable each other.
He's enabling.
Mom, get this. Did you get the new animated DC movie? No. Always like...
well, that's what I did. I was like, oh, I got that Justice Society World War II. Did you pick that up yet? You're like, I'll be right back.
I was like, I can't. We're like the most severe lockdown at this point.
Yeah.
Where like electronics is blocked off and it's only food and cat food you can get.
Because I remember I did that with that Batman Soul of the Dragon. I was like, oh, yeah, just saw this at Target. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Got it. And then I was like, oh, it's like, that's probably the weakest one, I think, yet, though.
Yeah, I haven't watched that one yet. After you trash talked it, I was just kind of like, I can watch the other ones first. I'll watch the other ones first.
Sorry, I can't help but be honest about how I feel.
But yeah, I loved the new Mortal Kombat. I thought it was really, really fun. I like the fact that it wasn't the tournament movie. It was a setup for the tournament.
Yeah, right. It wasn't perfect, but...
No, I mean, Cole worth... I mean, why did they put him in the movie? Because he's the audience surrogate. Yeah. That's the only reason. But did I think he sucked? Not really. I mean, he's just kind of there. But having the whole backstory for the whole feud between Sub-Zero and Scorpion, I love. And Kano was great. The shit that came out of his mouth cracked me up.
Yay.
And the fight scenes are great and all that. And it's violent as all hell. I never thought I'd ever seen Natara in a Mortal Kombat live-action movie ever. But she's there.
You barely did.
Yeah, but she's there.
Nice. Barely still counts.
And I said that I just watched Quiet Place 2 on Paramount Plus. Well, it's also out on video already.
Oh, wow.
So I went to Target on Tuesday, and this is sitting there. I was like, what? This movie just came out in theaters. It's already on home video?
That's
okay, you're coming home with me.
Yeah. With me to live.
And then the last movie, I have a 4K and 3D version of Godzilla vs. Kong.
Right on.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna pick that up later on. I saw it and I was like,
yeah. I was like, I'll just buy the American one, and then I found out this Korean version that I bought actually has the 3D version on it too.
Ooh.
So I gotta check that out in 3D. So, but I thought that was a real fun movie. When it comes to games, I got a couple of limited runs. I got After Party on the PS4.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really know. I thought this was a different game. I knew there was a game out there where you're at a party and there's like a serial killer, like a slasher there from a horror movie trying to kill all the people at the party. That's what I thought this was. Turns out it's not. You're a couple of kids that went to hell and you have to like drink the Satan under the table. Look at the description is you're Milo and Lola, recently deceased best buds who suddenly find themselves staring down an eternity in hell, but there's one loophole. Outdrink Satan, it'll grant your re-entry to Earth. Every step is up to you. Go on the best bender ever, uncover the mystery of why you've been damned, and drink the big guy under the table.
Well, it's better than having a Melvin death.
Yeah, you can beat demons at beer pong. You can have a dance club at Club Scroll. Pick your poison and go one night and get out of hell. Yeah, it wasn't what I thought it was, but I'm not sad once I read what the description was. I'm like, that sounds fun. And I also got Complex, which is an FMV game.
Oh, yes. That's got that.
Limited Run's been releasing all these. I cannot remember the name of the company, and I can't read it on here because the handwriting on it is shitty.
That's the one that has Katie from Letterkenny as the main character, isn't it?
I think so. She's on the back.
Yeah, that's her.
Yep. But I love a good full motion video game. It's like basically just point and click adventure type thing, or doing button prompts. But
yeah,
I've enjoyed full motion video games ever since the Sega CD, so I'm kind of like big on those.
I've heard really good stuff about that one. I want to check it out. But
yeah, I bought all the other ones that they've released, so I figured I had to get this one too.
Sweet.
And I was at GameStop. I found this Switch game called Rico.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that.
It's a first-person shooter, but you're like a dirty cop, and it's like all done with what do they call it? Cel-shaded graphics.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna get a highlighter and make that just say Pico?
No,
when
I'm
you
not.
Fight?
No,
come on. No. He's bald. Even it's perfect.
But I bought this because I don't have many first-person shooters for the Switch, so.
No, that's not a big.
I don't want to play Doom in handheld mode because it sucks in handheld mode. So this will have to do.
Right.
And then this one I got because the Game Deflators showed a picture of it in their on their Twitter feed. It's called Chicken Police. Was it Chicken Police Painted Red? And it's like a point and click adventure game. It's kind of like playing Sam & Max or Full Throttle or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to have a very goofy sense of humor. I mean, come on, there's like a sexy Catwoman on the front wearing like a dress.
That ain't Michelle Pfeiffer.
No, it's not. How dare you? So because it's so goofy sounding, I had to have it. So
absolutely.
And the last game I was talking about is don't even have a PS5, but I pre-ordered this before I tried to get my PS5s, and I forgot to cancel it. But I got the Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX.
Well, nice. That's one you're going to want sooner or later anyway, right?
Yeah. But the cool thing is, I didn't realize it until I did this during the stream. I opened it up during the stream because it said that they had like stuff inside of it, and it felt really heavy. And there's a keychain inside. And this game actually comes with a manual, but it's in the shape of a Master System manual.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, cool.
And that reversible cover, too.
And yes, and well, number one, the disc looks like a label from a Master System game.
Yeah. Perfect.
Which is awesome. And then you can take the slip out, and it is like a Master System game.
That's cool.
Because you can I think you can just like the what is it? The Wonder Boy and Monster Land one.
Yeah.
You can actually play it. You can play it at the Dragon Strap. You can play it with the original graphics, which they kind of show here, or the new graphics. So I think it's kind of cool that they did that.
Yeah, that is super cool.
So I'm not sad that I bought it, even though I can't play it. I look at the case and I dream.
One of these days.
Yeah, I'll be able to play it sometime.
It's like you're not gonna get it PS5.
Well, Radical Reggie was in my stream tonight, and when I showed this off, and I was like, "Yeah, I have all these PlayStation 5 games that I've bought or was given, and I can't play any of them." And he's like, "Oh, Joel from Media Glitch buys them all the time and gives them away or sells them for a regular price to his friends." I'm like, "I'm his friend."
There you go. Hit up your boy. They even showed like a video of him doing it. Like I think it was like yesterday.
He says he gets them. He finds them all the time, and he just sells them for regular price to people.
Tripping over these freaking things.
I'd like one.
They're down the dairy aisle in Walmart. There's just so many of them. I can't.
Yeah.
can't escape these things.
It's in with the Triscuits in the in the snack aisle.
Yeah. Right on.
That's
Well,
it for me.
I'll rip through mine real quick. The games is going to be easy. I showed you a picture. Someone just posted a picture of like one of those clear blue garbage bags of Wii games, and it just said $10 for the bag. And I'm like, there's got to be like 30 games in there. So it's like $10. I'll take that gamble, even if I got them all. That's there's bound to be something I can trade.
Wii Sports is in there, and that's worth money at GameStop.
Yeah, it was a decent bag of stuff. It's all definitely some shovelware and some random stuff. I didn't realize there was like variants of like I showed you the Iron Man game has like a different disc and shit. And I'm like, I kind of being an Iron Man fan, I think I might have to keep both of these versions. But yeah, it wasn't anything to write home about. But for $10, it was pretty good. There's a couple Xbox 360 games in there, WWE games and stuff. I'm like, oh, those. Someone will want those. So yeah. Besides that, I got a limited run game, and that's pretty rare, especially now, because this one actually got shipped to me, not my PO box. And it's Battle Axe. I got the email notification that it was shipping, and I was like, I don't remember buying that. But I must have.
I don't remember half the limited run games that I bought because it's been so long since I bought them.
I must have. Yeah, this wasn't long ago either. This is only like a couple weeks ago because it's like a partner store thing. So partners are quick. Limited run themselves are the ones that keep you waiting like 9 months.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Not as bad as Strictly Limited. It's got to be. I don't even know how long.
I still don't know what's going on with my Turrican.
Yeah, they went from like March, April, May, May, June. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like whatever. It just says whatever.
It doesn't even have an ETA to be announced. I'm like, what?
I want my Turrican set. Turrican set.
Yeah, I bought both of those, so I'm waiting on that. But this thing, I know our friend Church backed this, so he's somewhere in here as a NPC villager or something that you got to save. So maybe that's what sold me on it. Maybe I got to save Church's buttons.
Let me know if he's in it. I'll get a copy.
Yeah, he played through it himself because it's a 2-player. And he played. I don't know if he did a couple playthroughs because apparently it's pretty short. But he's like, yeah, I got pissed off because I must have saved the same guy 3 times, but I didn't see myself. It falls to me to save you, I guess. So I'll be screenshotting that if I find him. It's probably my next game I'll be playing. It's my only game I got besides those random ass Wii games. And quickly, I promise, I'm gonna go through what toys I picked up. All right, I got, first of all, Studio Series Starscream from the Bumblebee movie. Finally showed up. I actually kind of forgot I pre-ordered this guy. Yeah, for a movie figure, he's pretty awesome. He'll actually go in with my regular, like my regular versions, because I've got the movie versions that kind of off on their own. This guy, he gets a pass. He's going to go in. I finally got my woman. My Wanda showed up. Pre-ordered this. The whole wave showed up at our Walmart. I picked up what I wanted out of it, but Wanda was nowhere to be seen, so I kept my pre-order. And then it went to like, I don't know, we'll ship it to you in December or some crap. And I was like, oh my God. Did they like sell her out from under me even though I pre-ordered? This is bullshit. And then she just showed up one day and I was like, nice. So that's pretty cool. Do You Nerd will be, if they're watching, will remember this wave that I ordered pretty much right before we started filming our episode with them. But the Dark Father wave of the McFarlane DC figures, I got the entire thing. So I've got Death Metal Batman with his Plastic Man guitar.
He turned Plastic Man into a guitar. Okay, that's awesome.
You can see a screaming.
Yeah. Okay, that's awesome.
That's pretty badass. I already have Death Metal Batman that comes with the scythe, but I'm like,
weren't they saying that because of you they bought the Death Metal Wonder Woman figure?
You bet.
Yep.
Spoilers. That's next. We also got Death Metal Robin, who looks like a cross between King Diamond.
I was going to say King Diamond.
Cross between Danny Filth and Abath from Immortal. And then we got Death Metal Wonder Woman with her
Awesome.
chainsaw sword. Like
That's
the
awesome.
I like her blue and black hair. Oh man,
Yeah.
just the coolest Wonder Woman has ever looked by far. I'm missing one. All right, I'll be right back.
Oh shit! I can't believe they did death metal
My dumbass
DC
can't
characters.
count to
That's so
4,
crazy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, my dumbass can't count to 4 because then there's Death Metal Superman.
Oh god.
He looks like
Does he have like Doomsday's arm or something?
I don't know I don't know what's going on with the arm. I haven't actually read the story yet, but he looks
He's
like
so metal. He's so metal.
yeah, he kind of looks like Danzig.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
But yeah, pretty cool. But clearly the highlight of this wave is Wonder Woman. She's
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
phenomenal Wonder Woman. But then they all have come with a build a figure part for the Dark Father Batman. Pretty cool. His right leg was a son of a bitch to get to stay on and be level with the other leg.
Looks like Solomon Grundy
like-
became Batman.
Yeah, it actually looks like Darkseid was like, I'm Batman now. What are you going to do about it? You know what? I'm here for it. I've got 2 full shelves of Batmans now, and they're pretty big shelves. So that's kind of the reason why I decided to swap the Transformers and the action figures, because I was like, man, I kind of want all my Batmans in the same space, but made it happen. Now we'll make the switch to some more McFarlane figures. And we got Cabal, Mortal Kombat 11 version. I actually really wish this was the movie version. I think that's the coolest Cabal's ever looked. I'm not a big Cabal fan, but everyone gets at least one spot in my Mortal Kombat roster. So if they put out an alternate version, I'm not getting it, or I'm getting rid of this one. But yeah, kind of cool that he showed up. But the real one is the guy I was literally bitching, like, why do they never put out this figure? And literally like the next day they announced Noob Saibot is coming out. I'm like, yeah, why did they ever put out a Noob Saibot figure?
I love that scythe of his. That is so cool.
This is easily my favorite Mortal Kombat figure ever.
Oh, yeah.
So cool. So much so that before I even had him in hand, I also had pre-ordered a bloody variant where it's literally just the same figure with some blood sprayed on him. I'm like, I want Noob Saibot. If they're going to put out Noob Saibot, I'm going to buy him up. But then spent kind of a lot lately, so I was just like, all right, I'll get him later if anything, but I'm happy to have Noob Saibot on my roster. Mortal Kombat shelves filling up pretty nicely. Hopefully they stop doing so many variants.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know get your money's worth out of those molds and whatever, but yeah, I don't need 50 different versions of Sub-Zero and Scorpion and Raiden. Just how about a first version of Jax or Sonya or Kano, or you're like, not even all the main characters are out yet and you're doing variants. Like,
have they even done like
No,
Cassie or Jackie Briggs or anything like that? No?
None of them. No. And I want them to do a DLC 4-pack with Terminator, Robocop, Rambo.
They already got the molds for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do it now. And the last thing, holy shit, really already, I swear. This has been kind of sitting on the shelf at our local Walmart. And it's a McFarlane vehicle, and it's the Bat Raptor, which is basically like a cross between the Tumbler and the Bat Cycle. And it's been sitting there, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really know if I $30 need that. But it recently went on clearance for like, I think it was like $12. I was like, $12 need that.
Yeah,
Comes with the collector card like the rest of the figures all do. I got the Death Metal Bat Cycle, which is like the bat skeleton.
It's like Ghost Rider's motorcycle almost.
Yeah, basically. And I was like, you know what? I might as well just get this and be complete on my McFarlane Batman vehicles. I got to say, though, with the Dark Father wave, the one thing I found was kind of a bummer is like every one of these has a card that comes with them, and it's always like a comic version. Like, as you can see with the Bat Raptor, it's like in action in the comic. But these guys all came with just a picture of the figure with like a cool background. I'm like, oh, that's kind of a bummer. I want to see that, it doesn't feel collectible. Like I could take a picture of the figure. But yeah, anyway, small potatoes. It was cool to get these anyway. especially I almost want a second Death Metal Wonder Woman, so I can do like a custom paint job on her or something.
Give her red highlights.
Oh
Yeah.
just head to toe black. She can match Death Metal Batman. Yeah, so that's it for real. That's all the action figures I got.
I'm surprised.
Proud?
That's the shortest. That's the shortest toy thing you've ever done.
It's under 20 minutes. So yeah, with that said, why don't we get into some Backlog Roulette?
So what was the game you got last time? Red Star?
Red Star, and I loved it. What about you, sir?
I got Sonic Unleashed, and I didn't love it. I hated this. I gave up on it after about an hour and a half.
But such is the fate of most 3D Sonic games, unfortunately.
When you're playing as normal Sonic, it's like he moves so freaking fast, it's hard to control.
Yeah, he goes 0 to like 100 right away. And you're like, I'm just trying to walk 2 feet to my left, bro.
It might as well be Sonic Spinball because I was like bouncing off everything. And I couldn't. It sucks. But then when you turn into like the werewolf Sonic, the game slows to a crawl.
Yeah,
and the beat 'em up parts of it are terrible. Like the hit detection's terrible. The angles that you get, you can't control the camera, and the angles are shit. I was just like, no, I'm not playing this anymore. I'm not wasting my time.
Honestly, I have it. I've never played it myself, but I remember watching.
I'm gonna say don't.
I remember watching my nephews play it. I mean, if you didn't like this, definitely don't even bother inserting Sonic 06.
Well, like I said, when I was updating all my PlayStation 3 games, downloading all the updates before the store goes away, when I updated Sonic 06, I put that disc in and I said update, and it said no update available. You have the current version. I went, oh, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, they didn't even try.
No,
they were just like,
unless I got like a later version where it's already built in. But when it said no update available, I'm like, ooh. They
didn't even try, man. They're just like, yeah,
that's what you get.
Well, try better luck next time was basically their thing. That's the shitty thing. They're kind of dinks like that. But
they fixed Sonic Boom, didn't they?
I guess so, allegedly. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear that, man. You're still not batting very high for games you've enjoyed from your Backlog Roulette.
I think I have like 3 or 4.
I really hope this podcast doesn't become the revelation that you don't really like video games that much. Like, man, what am I?
I'm finding out that I buy a lot of shit. That's what I'm finding out.
Right.
So, how about we get some new games to play?
Absolutely, I am all for it.
So what is the roulette?
The Backlog Roulette is you take a list of games you want to play, but for some reason haven't, need the excuse to pop back in and finish, or whatever. Put your own stipulation on it. But we take a list of 1 to 36, and then 0 and 00, so 38 games total. And we spin the wheel, and whatever number comes up, that's the game you play. I cannot stress how much this has helped me chip away at my backlog since we started this. Not just because this is our gimmick, like this has legitimately helped me so much. Because once you got an older console, you know, that you might not always have hooked up, or it might not just be your go-to system. While you play the game, even if you don't like the game that you get in the roulette, you'll be like, oh man, but while I got the Genesis out, what else do I got? And you'll just throw something else on. Or like if I do like it and then I do beat it, I'll be like, what else do I got? And I'll just keep going. Like I'll go on a streak of like PS2 games, Super Nintendo games. Like just while I got you here, might as well just play through a bunch of stuff I've been too lazy to hook this thing up for. So with that said, let's get to it. I'm excited.
I hope I get video games.
Oh man. I dread the one time that it lands on work. Go to work. All right, here we go. I just cleaned this thing, so it's going to go for a while. I literally just dusted it with a t-shirt I had in here. Fancy. All right, what do we got? 2. The number 2.
Oh.
Is that a good O?
I think so.
I got
Call of Duty Finest Hour.
Okay. Maybe.
Okay, wait. I got a list too. Hold on.
I just won the jackpot.
Oh, I'm not too excited about mine.
Oh man, what is it?
Yeah, it's right here.
That fly is attacking your microphone.
I see.
Mine's right here somewhere.
This was number 2 in my list.
Hello Kitty Cruisers.
Remember when we were at the Midwest Gaming Classic and Taylor was making a big deal about that one?
Well, it is kind of like a.
That was the one game he was trying to find while he was at the convention. Was that?
That was one of the rare games on the Wii. I remember at least for a while, like it was like a low print.
I guess it can't be all bad. Yeah, and I picked it up because it was my friend, fellow YouTuber Professor Joe Casey. I believe he was the one that was talking about how it was going to be rare. And he predicted that it was going to go up. And I got that like a while back. And I think I paid like $25 for it. But it's at least double that now. But I guess it can't be all bad. I guess it's trying to be like a Mario Kart game.
Come on, it got a Switch port.
Yeah.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Can't be all awful.
Yeah.
Just mostly, maybe.
Here's that game I was talking
You
about
never know.
earlier.
Could be an awesome Hello Kitty game out there.
Yeah, so just FYI, real quick, Phantom Crash was the game that I was talking about earlier. That essay,
I have that one.
Whatever game. On the
That's
Xbox.
the one I have.
So yeah, it was exclusive to that. And then this was the spiritual sequel. Well, actually, it's a direct sequel. I just changed the name. I don't know why.
They're so
Phantom
confusing
Crash
sometimes when they do that.
Yeah.
Way better than Sly. It's not even. It's supposed to say Slay, but you're like,
Yeah.
Sly.
yeah, Sly Dogs thought they were pulling a cool move. Well, I gotta say, I have won the Backlog Roulette jackpot.
Well, you said it was a PS1 game, right?
I got something I've been wanting for a while.
Fifth Element.
Yeah, I finally got it.
Hey.
I got dangerously close to beating this. I don't think I ever beat it back in the day. It was one of my games I had to get when I got collected for the PS1, and I just haven't picked it up. The first PS2 game I ever got was Silent Hill 2 because I loved Silent Hill so much when I rented it. But
I wish I hadn't got rid of those, man.
I over the moon.
Silent Hill 3 is worth like a mint now, isn't it?
I know, like, yeah, it's like 130, 150, something like that. Last I saw,
and it was like a super common game.
I got the
yeah.
disc only for the Xbox, and I got it complete for the PS2.
I do believe I have it, but I just don't understand that.
Well, I
and I honestly don't remember getting rid of it because I still got the strategy guide for 2 and 3. I'm like, I don't remember, like, did somebody get me from, like, somebody steal them? Like, I don't remember getting rid of Silent Hill 2 or 3.
I'm unbelievably stoked because I was telling our English teacher friend, Captain Algebra, that if this didn't come up in the Backlog Roulette soon, I was just going to pull it out and play it anyway. Like, I was just telling him.
Because he got that as one of his, right?
I think so, I'm pretty sure he did. And I was like, man, that's been on mine since the beginning. It was number 2. So that's how important it was for me to play it. I don't even know what number 1 was. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, if I don't get it soon, I'm just going to pull it out and play it anyway. So good. I didn't have to mud up my list and have to pick something else for number 2. I'm glad that I finally got it. So right away. Battle Axe really quick, then Silent Hill, then it's probably going to be a problem because I'm probably going to go through every Silent Hill game.
Have fun.
I've got every Silent Hill game except the Vita game.
That's the one I have. That one. That was Book of
Memories or something.
Memories,
like
yeah.
I got
that's the one by Way Forward.
Yeah, what's that? Shattered whatever.
Memories.
Shattered Memories. Yeah, I've wanted that on PS2. I have it on the Wii. It's not the way I'd prefer to have it, but I have it nonetheless. So I'm still on the lookout for Shattered Memories on the PS2 if I can get it, because then I'll have all of them on PS2.
So the floodgates have just opened, right?
PSP. I think it had a PSP port. I'm pretty sure. Is that the one where like it everything like turns to ice? Like
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
and
Where
the
the
game,
girl's sitting on the swing on the cover that's frozen.
Yeah.
yeah, and the game like profiles you while you play and like kind of studies you, so it can like fuck with you somehow. I don't know. That's why I've been so interested in playing. So I've been like wanting to play this. So I was basically thinking like, if this doesn't show up by like late September, October, I'm going to go through them all for like an October
Right.
spooky month thing. Like I need an excuse
So
to play
the
games.
Silent Hill floodgates have opened, is what you're saying. Right?
Yes, it's. Yeah, I'm so stoked. I love this game.
I might do the same thing because since I'm playing the first Call of Duty game, I could probably go through the other World War II ones.
Yeah, Call of Duty.
Yeah,
I enjoyed Finest Hour back in the day.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it more.
That's the only one that I haven't played. That's the weird thing is I've played 2 and 3, but I've never played the first one.
I played like the original first one, and I remember liking Finest Hour more than that. Like the original one was just on the PC, but when you pre-ordered, I got the collector's edition of one of the other ones, like Modern Warfare 2 or something. It came with
then you get that one.
The code for it.
I have it too.
Yeah, and I remember thinking like, this is just okay. I remember Finest Hour being cooler. So hopefully it is cool. Hopefully it's a game you love.
I'll start playing it tomorrow.
And then all of a sudden you'll just be Call of Duty addicted.
At least I have the disc for this one that'll work. Like,
hey,
not like the Hive.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Like the Hive where the disc's like, I don't like you.
Yeah, man, this guy's had the worst luck. The worst luck. So I'm over the moon. I got to play one of my favorite games and finally complete it. Like I said, if I did beat it, I don't remember beating it. So
I hope you don't get the bad ending.
We'll get all the endings. Fuck it. I don't even know how many there are for this, but yeah, so stoked. All right, I think it's about time we wrap this up. We're going under 3 hours, so I'm proud.
Oh my god, it's a new record.
Oh yeah, right on.
Going
The
on.
last one we did was like 4 hours long.
Yeah, it was a while. So we're glad we didn't have our guest falling asleep this time. That's cool. So
yeah,
right.
Yeah, it is definitely past my bedtime. Like I'm old out here now. I'll be in bed at like 10:30.
Oh shit. Well, I apologize. We'll thank you very much for staying up and joining us. This was a blast.
Oh yeah.
And we'll look forward to hearing how you enjoy Hello Kitty Cruisers.
Yeah, I'll have to do like I'll have to do a little video on it or something. Maybe I'll I don't know.
Or tag us on Twitter if you do Twitter. Do you do Twitter?
No.
Okay.
I need to get on Twitter.
Oh yeah, it took me a long time. I think I've been on there like a year. And it was only because everyone bullied me into it.
Yeah.
But you got to get a Twitter, man.
I gave you crap on the panel that one year too.
Yeah, and I was like, all right, I will. And then finally, like 8 months later, I did.
I'm like, and the guy who gave you crap for it is the guy who rarely uses it.
Right. And that's how I feel. Like I feel like if I got a Twitter, I would never use it. Like I got a Facebook page, a Lightsaber Samurai Facebook page. I don't do anything with anymore. Same thing on Instagram. I don't know. But I need to get on my social media game.
Yeah, mine's my Facebook's kind of collecting cobwebs lately too. I haven't been. I've been trying to remember. Like even when like I get a new podcast episode come out, either from this one or the Game Tenants, I find like, oh shit, that came out a week ago and I didn't even do the post, because especially if it's the other one, I don't publish that one. It seems like every time he publishes it, I'm at work and okay, I'll remember to do that in the morning, and then I just forget, and I'm like, I'm remembering now. We had a new episode come out last week, so I'm awful. But yeah, I try to be. I'm probably most active on Twitter as far as my YouTube stuff. My YouTube stuff. I try to be kind of with my pickups. I try to get them on Instagram. I'm not a fan of Instagram, honestly. It seems like it's the best way to get people to see stuff. Yeah, I feel like I get more interaction on there with little effort than I do on Facebook when I actually put in a lot of effort, and whatever. It is what it is. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I hope we all enjoy our games. I know I will.
We shall see.
I hope everyone listening or watching also enjoys the game they get. Don't forget to tag us in it, #Backlog Roulette, and
absolutely.
Let us know what you think. I hope everyone gets some kick-ass games, and it enables you to just play a string more. That's what it's enabled me. I'm going to be I'm busy for the next bit. All right, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Goodbye.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.